Welcome back once again to Living Room Shakespeare. And I want to extend an extra special welcome to those of us who have been with us now for a year. It has been a year of Living Room Shakespeare. So before we go too far into tonight's production, I want to take a moment to acknowledge this amazing year. And I know it has not been an amazing year in many, many ways. It has been a difficult year. It has been full of trials and tribulations, and so many bad anniversaries are happening right now. We're celebrating, we're acknowledging a year of quarantine and a year of kids out of school and a year working from home on a makeshift desk. So I wanted to make sure we took a minute here and talked about a year of making art together here on the internet. When this started, we had no idea we were going to get to here. So this was a little bit of a fever dream. It was literally a Facebook post suggesting that some folks get together to read the complete works since we were all headed into quarantine. It was like, hey, if we're all going to be in quarantine, let's have like a book club reading group and we'll read the complete works together. And that became, what if we read them out loud? Like, because we're actors, let's just like do little readings. And then it was like, maybe we can put them on the internet. And then on March 21st, so our anniversary is tomorrow, on March 21st of 2020, we did 12th night on a Facebook Live using Zoom. And we had not really used Zoom before or Facebook Live or any of that. And it was fun, and it was a balm for all of us as actors and just as people suddenly trapped so far apart to get together once a week and to do something like this. And so we kept doing it. And in the last 52 weeks, we have done 43 shows. Tonight will be our 44th show. Not all of them are streamed live on Facebook. Sometimes we get together and read something just for ourselves. For a while there, we were doing 2 shows a week because we needed it. And it has been such an amazing experience. So tonight will be our 44th show. We have done 19 Shakespeare shows. So we've done a lot of other stuff kind of mixed in, like tonight's show is a Shaw because this is St. Patrick's week. We thought we would do an Irish playwright. So tonight will be a Shaw show, but we've done 19 Shakespeare shows. And as a group, we've done 12th night twice. So it's almost 20. We did 12th night as our first ever reading and also as our first staged reading a few weeks ago at the Center for Performing Arts in Rhinebeck. Speaking of the center, it has always been the theatrical home of most of our actors. It has been a fantastic support to us through all of this time. And some of us are getting to go back there recently and do productions that are getting live streamed on the internet. Laramie Project is streaming this weekend. We have several actors here involved with that, and I was the stage manager. If you have not bought a ticket yet, there's still a show tomorrow night. And then the center has been amazing, and we have always been fundraising for the center. If you have the ability and the inclination, there is a link on this post. There always is, or their donation website link is also in our posts. So feel free to go to their website and donate off of the Facebook system. I get it if you don't want to push your money through Facebook, but we encourage you wholeheartedly to help them stay open through all of this. We are almost there, but we don't see any reason for us to stop doing shows either. So we have done, I have some stats, so I want to make sure I get through them all. We've done 43 shows. Tonight is our 44th show, 19 Shakespeare shows. We have had 85 actors on our stage. Between all of those 44 shows, 85 different actors have worked with us, and that has been amazing. And you have seen our troupe. They change week to week, some of the same people, some different people. We really move people around, and we love giving people a place to play. And our 85 actors come from 4 different countries. We have had actors in Mexico, Australia, and Fiji regularly on our stage. So we have really enjoyed that. So all of this to say, it's worth taking a moment to be happy about a happy anniversary. And so we here are just thrilled to have been doing shows for a year in quarantine, but together. We have created friendships and bonds that have been amazing for us, not just during this time, but for the rest of our lives. It's going to be great to have known these people. So 44 shows, 19 Shakespeare's, 85 actors from 4 different countries. Thank you for an amazing 52 weeks, all of you. And now, without further ado, I would like to present to you Caesar and Cleopatra. So we are going to get our card up. Hang on. It's going to be Act 1, Scene 1. Let me do a little scene setting here. It's an October night on the Syrian border of Egypt toward the end of the 33rd dynasty in the year 706 by Roman computation, afterwards reckoned by Christian computation as 48 BC. Thank you, Shaw. A great radiance of silver fire, the dawn of a moonlit night, is rising in the east. The stars in the cloudless sky are our own contemporaries, 19 and a half centuries younger than we know them, but more than that now. But you would not guess that from their appearance. Below them are 2 notable drawbacks of civilization, a palace and soldiers. The palace, an old low Syrian building of whitened mud, is not so ugly as Buckingham Palace, and the officers in the courtyard are more highly civilized than modern English officers. There are 2 groups, one intent on the gambling of their captain Belzenor, whose spear is on the ground beside his knee and is stooping to throw dice with a young Persian recruit, and the other gathered around a guardsman who has just finished telling a story, at which they are laughing. They are about a dozen in number, and that's all pretty good. That's what's going on. All right, so Act 1, Scene 1. And Biapis, Persian, thy gods are good to thee.
Try it again, no captain. Double or quits.
No more. I am not in the vein.
Stand. Who goes there?
The bearer of evil tidings.
Pass him.
Draw near, O bearer of evil tidings.
Let us receive this man with honor. He bears evil tidings.
Are evil tidings then honorable?
Oh, barbarous Persian, hear my instruction. In Egypt, the bearer of good tidings is sacrificed to the gods as a thank offering. But no god will accept the blood of the messenger of evil. When we have good tidings, we are careful to send them in the mouth of the cheapest slave we can find. Evil tidings are borne by young noblemen who desire to bring themselves into notice.
Pass, O young captain, and bow the head in the house of the queen.
Go anoint thy javelin with fat of swine, O blackamoor, for before morning the Romans will make thee eat it to the very butt.
Who art thou that laughest at the house of Cleopatra the queen, and in the teeth of Belzenor, the captain of her guard?
I am Bel-Aphris, descended from the gods.
Hail, cousin.
All the queen's guard are descended from the gods, O stranger. Save myself. I am Persian and descended from many kings.
Hail, cousins. Hail, mortal.
You have been in battle, Bel-Aphris. You are a soldier among soldiers. You will not let the queen's woman have the first of your tidings.
I have no tidings, except that we all shall have our throats cut presently, women, soldiers, and all.
I told you so.
Woe, alas!
Peace, peace, poor Ethiop. Destiny is with the gods who painted thee black. What has this mortal told you?
He says that the Roman Julius Caesar, who has landed on our shores with a handful of followers, will make himself master of Egypt. He is afraid of the Roman soldiers, peasants brought up to scare crows and follow the plow, son of smiths and millers and tanners, and we, nobles, consecrated to arms, descended from the gods.
Belzenor, the gods are not always good to their poor relations.
Man to man, are we worse than the slaves of Caesar?
Listen, cousin. Man to man, we Egyptians are as gods above the Romans. But this Caesar does not pit man against man. He throws a legion at you where you are weakest, as he throws a stone from a catapult. And that legion is as a man with one head, 1,000 arms, and no religion. I have fought against them. I know.
Were you frightened, cousin?
No, cousin, but I was beaten. They were frightened, perhaps, but they scattered us like chaff.
Could you not die?
No, that was too easy to be worthy of a descendant of the gods. Besides, there was no time. All was over in a moment. The attack came just where we least expected it.
That shows that the Romans are cowards.
They care nothing about cowardice, these Romans. They fight to win. The pride and honor of war are nothing to them.
Tell us the tale of the battle. What befell?
Know then that I am a novice in the guard of the temple of Ra in Memphis, serving neither Cleopatra nor her brother Ptolemy, but only the high gods. We went a journey to inquire of Ptolemy why he had driven Cleopatra into Syria, and how we of Egypt should deal with the Roman Pompey, newly come to our shores after his defeat by Caesar at Pharsalia. What think ye did we learn? Even that Caesar is coming also in hot pursuit of his foe, and that Ptolemy has slain Pompey, whose severed head he holds in readiness to present to the conqueror. Nay, more, we found that Caesar is already come. For we had not made half a day's journey on our way back when we came upon a city rabble flying from his legions, whose landing they had gone out to withstand.
And ye, the temple guard, did you not withstand those legions?
What man could that we did? But there came the sound of a trumpet, whose voice was as the cursing of a black mountain, and we saw a moving wall of shields coming towards us. You know how the heart burns when you charge a fortified wall? But how if the fortified wall were to charge you?
Did I not say it?
When the wall came nigh, it changed into a line of men, common fellows enough, with helmets, leather tunics, and breastplates. Every man of them flung his javelin. The one that came my way drove through my shield as though a papyrus. Lo, there! And would have gone through my neck had I not stooped. They were charging at the double then, and were upon us with short swords almost as soon as their javelins. When a man is close to you with such a sword, you can do nothing with our weapons. They are all too long.
What did you do?
Doubled my fist and smote my Roman in the sharpness of his jaw. He was but mortal after all. He lay down in a stupor, and I took his sword and laid it on. Lo, a Roman sword with Roman blood on it.
Good.
And your men?
Fled, scattered like sheep.
The cowardly slaves, leaving the descendants of the gods to be butchered?
The descendants of the gods did not stay to be butchered, cousin. The battle was not to the strong, but the race was to the swift. The Romans, who have no chariot, sent a cloud of horsemen in pursuit and slew multitudes. Then our high priest's captain rallied a dozen descendants of the gods and exhorted us to die fighting. I said to myself, surely it is safer to stand than to lose my breath and be stabbed in the back. So I joined our captain and stood. Then the Romans treated us with respect. For no man attacks a lion when the field is full of sheep, except for the pride and honor of war, of which these Romans know nothing. So we escaped with our lives, and I am come to warn you that you must open your gates to Caesar, for his advance guard is scarce an hour behind me, and not an Egyptian warrior is left standing between you and his legions.
Whoa! Alas!
Now this news will run through the palace like fire through stubble.
What shall we do to save the women from the Romans?
Why not kill them?
Because we should have to pay blood money for some of them. Better let the Romans kill them. It is cheaper.
Oh, subtle one. Oh, serpent.
But your queen,
True. We must carry off Cleopatra.
will you not await her command?
Command. A girl of 16? Not we. At Memphis, ye deem her a queen. Here, we know better. I will take her on the crupper of my horse. When we soldiers have carried her out of Caesar's reach, then the priests and the nurse and the rest of them can pretend she is a queen again and put their commands into her mouth.
Listen to me, Belzenor.
Speak, O subtle beyond thy years.
Cleopatra's brother Ptolemy is at war with her. Let us sell her to them.
We dare not. We are descended from the gods, but Cleopatra is descended from the river Nile, and the lands of our fathers will grow no grain if the Nile rises not to water them. Without our fathers' gifts, we should live in the lives of dogs.
It is true. The Queen's Guard cannot live on its pay. But hear me further, O ye kingsmen of Osiris.
Speak, O subtle one. Hear the serpent begotten.
Have I heretofore spoken truly of you to you of Caesar, when you thought I mocked you?
So Belafra says,
Hear more of him then. This Caesar is a great lover of women. He makes them his friends and counselors.
Faugh. This rule of women will be the ruin of Egypt.
Let it rather be the ruin of Rome. Caesar grows old now. He is past 50 and full of labors and battles. He's too old for the young women, and the old women are too wise to worship him.
Take heed, Persian. Caesar is by this time almost within earshot.
Cleopatra is not yet a woman, neither is she wise. But she already troubles men's wisdom.
Aye, that is because she is descended from the river Nile, and a black kitten of the sacred white cat. What then?
We're secretly to Ptolemy, and then offer ourselves to Caesar as volunteers to fight for the overthrow of her brother and the rescue of our queen, the great granddaughter of the Nile.
Oh, serpent.
He will listen to us if we come with her picture in our mouths. We will conquer and kill her brother and reign in Egypt with Cleopatra for his queen, and we shall be her guard.
You will also have arrived before you have done talking, O word spinner.
That is true. Oh, quick! The fight has begun. Guard the door. Send us out Fatatatita, the queen's chief nurse.
Make way for the queen's chief nurse.
Fatatatita, I am Belzenor, the captain of the queen's guard, descended from the gods.
Belzenor. I am Patatatita, the queen's chief nurse. And your divine ancestors were proud to be painted on the wall in the pyramids of the kings whom my fathers served.
Fatatatita, daughter of a long-tongued, swivel-eyed chameleon, the Romans are at hand. Not even the descendants of the gods can resist them, for they have each man 7 arms, each carrying 7 spears. The blood in their veins is boiling quicksilver, and their wives become mothers in 3 hours and are slain and eaten the next day.
Then fly and save yourselves. Cowardly sons of the cheap clay gods that are sold to fish porters, and leave us to shift for ourselves.
Not until you have first done our bidding, O terror of manhood. Bring out Cleopatra the queen to us, and then go whither you will.
Now I know why the gods have taken her out of our hands. Know, thou foolish soldier, that the queen has been missing since an hour past sundown.
Hag, you have hidden her to sell to Caesar or to her brother. Where is she? Where is she? Or
Touch me, dog, and the Nile will not rise on your fields for 7 times 7 years of famine.
I will sacrifice, I will pay or stay. You, O subtle one, your father's lands lie far from the Nile. Slay her.
Persia has but one god, yet he loves the blood of old women. Where is Cleopatra?
Persian. As Osiris lives, I do not know. I chid her for bringing evil days upon us by talking to the sacred cats of the priests and carrying them in her arms. I told her she would be left alone here when the Romans came, as punishment for her disobedience. Now she is gone, run away, hidden. I speak the truth. I call Osiris to witness.
You have frightened the child. She is hiding. Search, quick, into the palace. Search every corner.
Sacrilege! Men in the queen's chamber, save!
Forbear her yet a moment, Persian. Mother, your gods are asleep or away hunting, and the sword is at your throat. Bring us to where the queen is hid, and you shall live.
Who shall stay the sword in the hand of a fool, if he, the high gods, put it there? Listen to me, ye young men without understanding. Cleopatra fears me, but she fears the Romans more. There is but one power greater in her eyes than the wrath of the queen's nurse and the cruelty of Caesar. And that is the power of the Sphinx that sits in the desert watching the way to the sea. What she would have it know, she tells into the ears of the sacred cats. And on her birthday, she sacrifices to it and decks it with poppies. Go ye therefore into the desert and seek Cleopatra in the shadow of the Sphinx. And on your head, see to it that no harm comes to her.
May we believe this, O subtle one.
Which way come the Romans?
Over the desert from the sea by this very Sphinx.
Oh, mother of guile, oh, aspic's tongue! You have made up this tale so that we may go into the desert and perish on the spears of the Romans. Taste death.
Not from thee, baby.
Found Cleopatra?
She is gone. We have searched every corner.
Whoa, alas, fly, fly!
What is the matter now?
The sacred white cat has been stolen.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa!
There is general panic, and they all fly with cries of consternation. The torch is thrown down and extinguished in the rush, and there's darkness. The noise of the fugitives dies away, and there is dead silence. Then the blackness and stillness breaks softly into the silver mist, and strange airs of the windswept harp of Memnon plays at the dawning of the moon. Rises over the desert, and a vast horizon comes into relief, broken by the huge shape, which soon reveals itself as a sphinx pedestaled on the sand. The light still clears until the upraised eyes of the image are distinguished, looking straight forward and upward in infinite, fearless vigil, and a mass of color between its great paws defines itself as a heap of red poppies on which a girl lies motionless.
Hail, Sphinx. Salutation from Julius Caesar. I have wandered in many lands, seeking the lost regions from which my birth into this world exiled me, and the company of creatures such as I myself. I have found flocks and pastures, men and cities, but no other Caesar. No heir native to me, no man kindred to me, none who can do my day's deed and think my night's thought. In the little world yonder, Sphinx, my place is as high as yours in this great desert. Only I wander, and you sit still. I conquer, and you endure. I work and wonder, you watch and wait. I look up and am dazzled. Look down and am darkened. Look round and am puzzled. While your eyes never turn from looking out in the world, to the lost region, to the home from which we have both strayed. Sphinx, you and I, strangers to the race of men, are no strangers to one another. Have I not been conscious of you and this place since I was born? Rome is a madman's dream. This is my reality. These starry lamps of yours, I've seen from afar, in Gaul, in Britain, in Spain, in Thessaly, signaling great secrets to some eternal sentinel below, whose post I never could find. And here at last is their sentinel, an image of the constant and immortal part of my life. Silent, full of thoughts, alone in the silver desert. Sphinx, Sphinx. I have climbed mountains at night to hear in the distance the stealthy footfall of the winds that chase your sands in forbidden play. Our invisible children, O Sphinx, laughing in whispers. My way hither was the way of destiny, for I am he of whose genius you are the symbol, part brute, part woman, and part God. Nothing of man in me at all. Have I read your riddle, Sphinx?
Old gentleman.
Ah, mortal gods!
Oh, old gentleman, don't run away.
Ah, ah, whew. Oh, gentlemen, don't run away. This to Julius Caesar. Ha!
Old gentleman.
Sphinx, you presume on your centuries. I am younger than you, though your voice is but as a girl's voice yet.
Climb up here quickly or the Romans will come and eat you.
A child at its breast, a divine child.
Come up quickly. You must get up at its side and creep around.
Who are you?
Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt.
Queen of the Gypsies, you mean?
You must not be disrespectful to me, or the Sphinx will let the Romans eat you. Come up. It's quite cozy up here.
What a dream. What a magnificent dream. Only let me not wake, and I will conquer 10 continents to pay for dreaming it out to the end.
Take care. Oh, that's right. Now sit down. You may have its other paw. It is very powerful and will protect us, but it would not take any notice of me or keep me company. I'm glad you have come. I was very lonely. Did you happen to see a white cat anywhere?
Have you lost one?
Oh, yes, the sacred white cat. Is it not dreadful? I brought him back here to sacrifice him to the Sphinx, but when we got a little away from the city, a black cat called him and he jumped out of my arms and ran to it. Do you think that the black cat can have been my great-great-great-grandmother?
Your great-great-great-grandmother. Well, why not? Nothing would surprise me on this night of nights.
I think it must have been. My great-grandmother's great-grandmother was a black kitten of the sacred white cat, and the river Nile made her his 7th wife, and that is why my hair is so wavy. And I always want to be let do as I like, no matter whether it is the will of the gods or not. And that is because my blood is made with Nile water.
What are you doing here at this time of night? Do you live here?
Of course not. I am the queen, and I shall live at the palace at Alexandria when I have killed my brother who drove me out of it. When I am old enough, I shall do just what I like. I shall be able to poison the slaves and see them wriggle and pretend to Patatita that she's going to be put into the fiery furnace.
Meanwhile, why are you home, not home, and in bed?
Because the Romans are coming to eat us all. You are not at home in bed either.
Yes, I am. I live in a tent, and I am now in that tent, fast asleep and dreaming. Do you suppose that I believe you are real, you impossible little dream witch?
You are a funny old gentleman. I like you.
That spoils the dream. Why don't you dream that I'm young?
Oh, I wish you were. Only I think I should be more afraid of you. I like men, especially young men with round, strong arms, but I am afraid of them. You are old and rather thin and stringy, but you have a nice voice. And I like to have somebody to talk to, though I think you are a little mad. It is the moon that makes you talk to yourself in that silly way.
What? You heard that, did you? I was saying my prayers to the great Sphinx.
but this isn't the Great Sphinx.
What?
This is a dear little kitten of the Sphinx, where the Great Sphinx is so big that it has a temple between its paws. This is my pet Sphinx. Tell me, do you think that the Romans have any sorcerers who could take us away from the Sphinx by magic?
Why? Are you afraid of the Romans?
Oh, they would eat us if they caught us. They are barbarians. Their chief is called Julius Caesar. His father was a tiger, and his mother a burning mountain, and his nose is like an elephant's trunk. They all have long noses and ivory tusks and little tails and 7 arms with 100 arrows in each, and they live on human flesh.
Would you like me to show you a real Roman?
No, you are frightening me.
No matter. This is only a dream.
It is not a dream. It is not a dream. See? See?
Ah! Stop! How dare you?
You said that you were dreaming. I only wanted to show you.
Oh, come. Don't cry. A queen mustn't cry. Yes, no, impossible, madness, back to camp.
No, you shan't leave me. No. I'm afraid of the Romans.
Whew. Cleopatra, can you see my face well?
Yes, it is so white in the moonlight.
Do you notice that I have a rather long nose?
Oh!
It's a Roman nose, Cleopatra.
Sphinx, bite him in two. I meant to sacrifice the white cat. I did indeed.
Cleopatra, shall I teach you a way to prevent Caesar from eating you?
Oh, do. I will steal Tita's jewels and give them to you. I will make the River Nile water your lands twice a year.
Peace, my child. Your gods are afraid of the Romans. You see, the Sphinx dare not bite me, nor prevent me carrying you off to Julius Caesar.
Oh, no, you won't. You won't. You said you wouldn't.
Caesar never eats women.
What?
Yeah, but he eats girls and cats. Now, you are a silly little girl, and you are descended from the black kitten. You're both a girl and a cat.
And he will eat me?
Yes. Unless you make him believe that you are a woman.
Oh, you must get a sorcerer to make a woman of me. Are you a sorcerer?
Perhaps. But it will take a long time. And this very night, you must stand face to face with Caesar in the palace of your fathers.
Oh, no, I daren't.
Whatever dread may be in your soul, however terrible Caesar may be to you, you must confront him as a brave woman and a great queen. And you must feel no fear. If your hand shakes, if your voice quavers, then night and death.
Oh.
But if he thinks you worthy to rule, he will set you on the throne by his side and make you the real ruler of Egypt.
No, he will find me out. He will find me out.
He's rather easily deceived by women. Their eyes dazzle him, and he sees them not as they are, but as he wishes them to appear to him.
Well, then we will cheat him. I will put on Tita's headdress, and he will think me quite an old woman.
Do that, he'll eat you at one mouthful.
But I will give him cake with my magic opal and 7 hairs of the white cat baked in.
You're a little fool. He will eat your cake and you too.
Oh, please, I will do whatever you tell me. I will be good. I will be your slave.
Hark.
What was that?
Caesar's voice.
Let us run away. Come, oh, come.
You're safe with me until you stand on your throne to receive Caesar. Now, lead me thither.
I will. Oh, come. The gods are angry. Do you feel the earth shaking?
It is the tread of Caesar's legions.
This way quickly. And let us look for the white cat as we go. It is he that has turned you into a Roman.
Incorrigible! Ha! Incorrigible! Away!
He follows her, and the trumpets continue to sound louder as they steal across the desert. The moonlight wanes and the horizon again shows black against the sky, broken only by the fantastic silhouette of the Sphinx. The sky vanishes into darkness, and then we see great Egyptian pillars supporting the roof of a majestic corridor. Caesar, still led by Cleopatra, follows him. They come down the corridor, Caesar peering keenly about at the strange architecture and at the pillar shadows, between which, as the passing torch makes them hurry noiselessly backwards, figures of men and wings and hawks' heads and vast marble cats seem to flit out in and out of ambush. They turn a corner and make a spacious transept in which Caesar sees on his right a throne, and behind the throne a door. On each side of the throne is a slender pillar with a lamp on it.
What place is this?
This is where I sit on the throne when I am allowed to wear my crown and robes.
Order a slave to light the lamps.
Do you think I may?
Of course, you are the queen. Go on.
Stop! Who is this you have with you? And how dare you order the lamps to be lighted without my permission?
Who is she?
Tatita.
Chief nurse to...
I speak to the queen. Be silent. Is this how your servants know their places? Send her away. You are the queen. Send her away.
Tatita, dear, you must go away. Just for a little.
You're not commanding her to go away. You're begging her. You're no queen. You will be eaten. Farewell.
No, don't leave me.
A Roman does not stay with queens who are afraid of their slaves.
I am not afraid. Indeed, I am not afraid.
We shall see who is afraid here. Cleopatra.
On your knees, woman. Am I also a child that you dare trifle with me? Have you remembered yourself, mistress?
Queen, forget not thy servant in the days of thy greatness.
Go. Be gone. Go away. Give me something to beat her with.
Oh, you scratch kitten, do you?
I am a real queen at last. A real queen. Cleopatra the queen. Oh, I love you for making me queen.
But queens only love kings.
Well, I will make all the men I love kings. I will make you a king. I will have many young kings with round, strong arms. And when I am tired of them, I will whip them to death. But you shall always be my king. My nice, kind, wise, good old king.
Oh, my wrinkles, my wrinkles. And my child's heart. You will be the most dangerous of all Caesar's conquests.
Caesar! Oh, I forgot Caesar! You will tell him that I am a queen, will you not? A real queen. Listen, let us run away and hide until Caesar is gone.
If you fear Caesar, you are no true queen. And though you were to hide beneath a pyramid, he would go straight to it and lift it with one hand. And then, nah!
Oh!
Be afraid if you dare. Caesar approaches the throne of Cleopatra. Come, take your place. Ho there, Tita Tota. How do you call your slaves?
Just clap your hands.
Bring the queen's robes and her crown and prepare her.
Yes, the crown for Tatita. I shall wear the crown.
For whom must the queen put on her state?
For a citizen of Rome, a king of kings to Tita.
How dare you ask questions? Go and do as you're told. Caesar will know that I am queen when he sees my crown and robes, will he not?
No. How shall he know that you're not a slave dressed up in the queen's ornaments?
You must tell him.
He will not ask me. He will know Cleopatra by her pride, her courage, her majesty, and her beauty. Are you trembling?
No, no.
All the queen's women are fled.
Poor Caesar generally has to dress himself.
Queen of Egypt is not a Roman barbarian. Be brave, my nursling. Hold up your head before this stranger.
Is it sweet or bitter to be a queen, Cleopatra?
Bitter.
Cast out fear, and you will conquer Caesar. Tota, are the Romans at hand?
They are at hand, and the guard has fled.
The Romans are in the courtyard.
The queen must face Caesar alone. Answer, so be it.
So be it.
Good.
You are my nursling. You have said so be it. And if you die for it, you must make the queen's word good.
Now, if you quail.
Hail, Caesar!
Act 2, Scene 1. We are now in Alexandria, a hall on the first floor of the palace, ending at a loggia approached by the 2 steps. Through the arches of the loggia, the Mediterranean can be seen, bright in the morning sun. The clean, lofty walls, painted with a procession of Egyptian theocracy, presented in profile as a flat ornament, and the absence of mirrors, sham perspectives, stuffy upholstery, and textiles make the place handsome, wholesome, simple, and cool, or, as a rich English manufacturer would express it, poor, bare, ridiculous, and unhomely. The young king Ptolemy Dionysus, aged 10, is at the top of the steps on his way in through the loggia, led by his guard Pothinus, who has him by the hand. The court is assembled to receive him. There are lots of different kinds of people in the court. All receive the king with reverences. He comes down the steps to chair of state, which stands a little to his right, the only seat in the hall. Taking his place before it, he looks nervously for instructions to Pothinus, who places himself at his left hand.
The king of Egypt has a word to speak.
Peace for the king's word.
Take notice of this, all of you. I am the firstborn son of Auletus, the flute blower, who was your king. My sister Bernice drove him from his throne and reigned in his stead, but
the gods would not suffer.
Yes, the gods would not suffer. I forget what the gods would not suffer.
Let Pothinus, the king's guardian, speak for the king.
The king wished to say that the gods would not suffer the impiety of his sister to go unpunished.
Yes, I remember the rest of it. Therefore, the gods sent a stranger, one Mark Antony, a Roman captain of horsemen, across the sands of the desert, and set my father again upon the throne. And my father took Bernice, my sister, and struck off her head. And now my father is dead, yet another of his sisters, my sister Cleopatra, would snatch the kingdom from me and reign my place. The gods would not suffer. the gods would not suffer.
Will not maintain.
Oh, yes, will not maintain such inequity. They will give her head to the axe, even as her sisters. But with the help of the witch Fatatita, she hath cast a spell on the Roman Julius Caesar to make him uphold her false pretense to rule in Egypt. Take notice, then, that I will not suffer. What is it that I will not suffer?
The king will not suffer a foreigner to take from him the throne of our Egypt. Tell the king, Achilles, how many soldiers and horsemen follow the Roman?
Let the king's general speak.
But 2 Roman legions, okay. 3,000 soldiers and scarce 1,000 horsemen.
Peace, hope. Caesar approaches.
The king permits the Roman commander to enter.
Which is the king? The man or the boy?
I am Pothinus, the guardian of my lord the king.
So you were the king. Dull work at your age, eh? Your servant, Pothinus. And this gentleman?
Achilles, the king's general.
General, eh? I'm general myself, but I began too old. Health and many victories, Achilles.
As the gods will, Caesar.
And you, sir, are?
Theodotus, the king's tutor.
Oh, you teach men how to be kings, Theodotus. That's very clever of you. And this place?
The council chamber of the chancellors of the king's treasury, Caesar.
Oh, that reminds me. I want some money.
The king's treasury is poor, Caesar.
Yes, I noticed there's but one chair in it.
Bring a chair there, some of you, for Caesar.
Caesar.
No, my boy. That is your chair of state. Sit down. Now, Pothinus, to business. I am badly in want of money.
My master would say that there is a lawful debt due to Rome by Egypt, contracted by the king's deceased father to the triumvirate, and that it is Caesar's duty to his country to require immediate payment.
I forgot. I've not made my companions known here. Pothinus, this is Britanus, my secretary. He is an islander from the western edge of the world, a day's voyage from Gaul. This gentleman is Rufio, my comrade in arms. Pothinus, I want 1,600 talents.
40 million sesterces. Impossible. There is not so much money in the king's treasury.
Only 1,600 talents, Pothinus? Why count it in sesterces? A sestertius is only worth a loaf of bread.
And a talent is worth a racehorse. I say it is impossible. We have been at strife here because the king's sister, Cleopatra, falsely claims his throne. The king's taxes have not been collected for a whole year.
Yes, they have, Pothinus. My officers have been collecting them all morning.
You must pay, Pothinus. Why waste words? You are getting off cheaply enough.
Is it possible that Caesar, the conqueror of the world, has time to occupy himself with such a trifle as our taxes?
My friend, taxes are the chief business of a conqueror of the world.
Then take warning, Caesar. This day, the treasures of the temples and the gold of the king's treasury will be sent to the mint to be melted down for our ransom in the sight of the people. They shall see us sitting under bare walls and drinking from wooden cups, and their wrath be on your head, Caesar, if you force us to this sacrilege.
Do not fear, Pothinus. The people know how well wine tastes in wooden cups. In return for your bounty, I will settle this dispute about the throne for you, if you will. What say you?
If I say no, will that hinder you?
No. Oh. You say the matter has been at issue for a year, Pothinus. May I have 10 minutes at it?
You will do your pleasure, doubtless.
Good. But first, let us have Cleopatra here.
She is not in Alexandria. She has fled into Syria.
I think not. Call Totatita.
Hold there! Tita Tota!
Who pronounces the name of Patata Tita, the Queen's chief nurse?
Nobody can pronounce it, Tota, except yourself. Where's your mistress? Will the Queen favor us with her presence for a moment?
Am I to behave like a queen?
Yes.
Caesar, this is how she treats me always. If I am king, why is she allowed to take everything from me?
You are not to be king, you little crybaby. You are to be eaten by the Romans.
Come here, my boy, and stand by me.
Take your throne. I don't want it. Go this instant and sit down in your place.
Go, Ptolemy. Always take a throne when it is offered to you.
I hope you will have the good sense to follow your own advice when we return to Rome, Caesar.
Pothinus?
Are you not going to speak to me?
Be quiet. Open your mouth again before I give you leave, and you shall be eaten.
I am not afraid. A queen must not be afraid. Eat my husband there if you like. He is afraid.
Your husband? What do you mean?
That little thing.
Caesar, you are a stranger here and not conversant with our laws. The kings and queens of Egypt may not marry except with their own royal blood. Ptolemy and Cleopatra are born king and consort, just as they are born brother and sister.
Oh, Caesar, this is not proper.
How?
Pardon him, Theodotus. He's a barbarian and thinks the customs of his tribe and island are the laws of nature.
On the contrary, Caesar, it is these Egyptians who are barbarians, and you do wrong to encourage them. I say it is a scandal.
Scandal or not, my friend, it opens the gates of peace. Pothinus, hear what I propose.
Here, Caesar, there.
Ptolemy and Cleopatra shall reign jointly in Egypt.
What of the king's younger brother and Cleopatra's younger sister?
There is another little Ptolemy, Caesar, so they tell me.
Well, the little Ptolemy can marry the older sister, and we will make them both a present of Cyprus.
Cyprus is of no use to anybody.
No matter, you shall have it for the sake of peace.
Peace with honor, Pothinus.
Caesar, be honest. The money you demand is the price of our freedom. Take it and leave us to settle our own affairs.
Yes, yes. Egypt for the Egyptians.
Egypt for the Egyptians? Do you forget that there is a Roman army of occupation here, left by Aulus Gabinius when he set up your toy king for you?
And now, under my command, I am the Roman general here, Caesar.
And also the Egyptian general, eh?
That is so, Caesar.
Oh, so you can make war on the Egyptians in the name of Rome, and on the Romans, on me, if necessary, in the name of Egypt.
That is so, Caesar.
And which side are you on at present, if I may presume to ask, General?
On the side of the right and of the gods.
How many men have you?
That will appear when I take the field.
Are your men Romans? If not, it matters not how many there are, provided you are no stronger than 500 to 10.
It is useless to try to bluff us, Rufio. Caesar has been defeated before and may be defeated again. A few weeks ago, Caesar was flying for his life before Pompey. A few months hence, he may be flying for his life before Cato and Juba of Numidia, the African king.
What can you do with 4,000 men?
And without money, away with you. Egypt for the Egyptians. Be gone.
Why do you let them talk to you like that, Caesar? Are you afraid?
Why, my dear, what they say is quite true.
But if you go away, I shall not be queen.
I shall not go away until you are queen.
Achilles, if you are not a fool, you will take that girl whilst she is under your hand.
Why not take Caesar as well, Achilles?
Well said, Rufio. Why not?
Try, Achilles.
You are Caesar's prisoners, all of you.
No. By no means. Caesar's guests, gentlemen.
Won't you cut their heads off?
What? Cut off your brother's head?
Why not? He would cut off mine if he got a chance. Wouldn't you, Ptolemy?
I would. I will too when I grow up.
Caesar, if you attempt to detain us.
We will succeed, Egyptian. Make up your mind to that. We hold the palace, the beach, and the eastern harbor. The road to Rome is open, and you shall travel it if Caesar chooses.
I could do no less, Bathinus, to secure the retreat of my own soldiers. I'm accountable for every life among them. But you are free to go. So are all here and in the palace.
What? Renegades and all?
Roman army of occupation and all, Rufio.
Then I make a last appeal to Caesar's justice. I shall call a witness to prove that but for us, the Roman army of occupation, led by the greatest soldier in the world, would now have Caesar at its mercy. Ho there, Lucius Septimius. If my voice can reach you, come forth and testify before Caesar.
No.
Yes, I say. Let the military tribune bear witness.
Bear witness, Lucius Septimius. Caesar came hither in pursuit of his foe. Did we shelter his foe?
As Pompey's foot touched the Egyptian shore, his head fell by the stroke of my sword.
Under the eyes of his wife and child. Remember that, Caesar. They saw it from the ship he had just left. We have given you a full and sweet measure of vengeance.
Vengeance?
Our first gift to you, as your galley came into the roadstead, was the head of your rival for the empire of the world. Bear witness, Lucius Septimius. Is it not so?
It is so. With this hand that slew Pompey, I placed his head at the feet of Caesar.
Murderer. So would you have slain Caesar had Pompey been victorious at Pharsalia?
Woe to the vanquished, Caesar. When I served Pompey, I slew as good men as he, only because he conquered them. His turn came at last.
The deed was not yours, Caesar, but ours, nay, mine. For it was done by my counsel. Thanks to us, you keep your reputation for clemency, and have your vengeance too.
Vengeance? Vengeance? Oh, if I could stoop to vengeance, what would I not exact from you as the price of this murdered man's blood? Was he not my son-in-law, my ancient friend for 20 years, the master of great Rome, for 30 years, the compeller of victory? Did not I, as a Roman, share his glory? Was the fate that forced us to fight for the mastery of the world of our making? Am I Julius Caesar, or am I a wolf? That you fling to me the gray head of the old soldier, the laureled conqueror, the mighty Roman, treacherously struck down by this callous ruffian, and then claim my gratitude for it? God, you fill me with horror.
Pshaw, you have seen severed heads before, Caesar, and severed right hands too. I think some 1,000 of them in Gaul after you vanquished Vercingetorix. Did you spare him with all your clemency? Was that vengeance?
No, by the gods. Would that it had been. Vengeance at least is human. No, I say those severed right hands and the brave Vercingetorix, basely strangled in a vault between the Capitol, were a wise severity, a necessary protection to the Commonwealth, a duty of statesmanship, follies and fictions 10 times bloodier than honest vengeance. Oh, what a fool I was then. To think that men's lives should be at the mercy of such fools. Lucius Septimius, pardon me. Why should the slayer of Vercingetorix rebuke the slayer of Pompey? You're free to go with the rest. Or stay if you will. I will find a place for you in my service.
The odds are against you, Caesar. I go.
That means that he is a Republican.
And what are you?
A Caesarian, like all Caesar's soldiers.
Lucius, believe me, Caesar is no Caesarian. Were Rome a true republic, then were Caesar the first of republicans. But you have made your choice. Farewell.
Farewell. Come, Achilles. Where there is time, there is whilst there is yet time.
Do you suppose he would let us go if we had our heads in his hands?
I have no right to suppose that his ways are any baser than mine.
Pshaw.
Rufio, if I take Lucius Septimius for my model and become exactly like him, ceasing to be Caesar, will you serve me still?
Caesar, this is not good sense. Your duty to Rome demands that her enemies should be prevented from doing further mischief.
It is no use talking to him, Britannicus. You may save your breath to cool your porridge. But mark this, Caesar. Clemency is very well for you, but what is it for your soldiers who have to fight tomorrow, the men you spared yesterday? You may give what orders you please, but I tell you that your next victory will be a massacre thanks to your clemency. I, for one, will take no prisoners. I will kill my enemies in the field, and then you can preach as much clemency as you please. I shall never have to fight them again. And now, with your leave, I will see these gentry off the premises.
What? Have they left the boy alone? Oh, shame, shame.
Come, your majesty.
Is he turning me out of my palace?
You are welcome to stay if you wish.
Go, my boy. I will not harm you, but you will be safer away among your friends. Here, you're in the lion's mouth.
It is not the lion I fear, but the jackal.
Brave boy.
Little silly. You think that very clever.
Britannicus, attend the king. Given in charge that Thinus fellow.
And this piece of goods, what is to be done with her? However, I suppose I may leave that to you.
Did you mean me to go with the rest?
You're free to go do just as you please, Cleopatra. Of
Then you do not care whether I stay or not?
course, I'd much rather you stayed.
Much, much rather?
Much, much rather.
Then I consent to stay because I am asked. But I do not want to, mind.
That's quite understood. Totatita.
Her name is not Totatita. It's Patatatita. Patatatita.
Tafata Fita will forgive the erring tongue of a Roman. Tota, the queen will hold her state here in Alexandria. Engage women to attend upon her and do all that's needful.
Am I then the mistress of the queen's household?
No, I am the mistress of the queen's household. Go and do as you are told, or I will have you thrown into the Nile this very afternoon to poison the poor crocodiles.
No, 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 no.
Oh, yes, yes. You are very sentimental, Caesar, but you are clever. And if you do as I tell you, you will soon learn to govern.
Cleopatra, I think I must actually eat you after all.
You must not talk to me now as if I were a child.
You have been growing up since the Sphinx introduced us the other night. And I think you know more than I do, and you think you know more than I do already.
No, that would be very silly of me. Of course I know that, but are you angry with me?
No.
Well, then why are you so thoughtful?
I have work to do, Cleopatra.
Work? You are tired of talking to me, and that is your excuse to get away from me.
Well, another minute. But then work.
Work? What nonsense. You must remember that you are a king now. I have made you one. Kings don't work.
Oh? Who told you that, little kitten, huh?
My father was the king of Egypt and he never worked. But he was a great king and cut off my sister's head because she rebelled against him and took the throne from him.
Well, and how did he get his throne back again?
I will tell you. A beautiful young man with strong, round arms came over the desert with many horsemen and slew my sister's husband and gave my father back his throne. I was only 12 then. Oh, I wish he would come again now that I am a queen. I would make him my husband.
It might be managed, perhaps. For it was I who sent the beautiful young man to help your father.
You know him?
I do.
Has he come with you? Oh, I wish he had. I wish he had. If only I were a little older so that he might not think me a mere kitten as you do. But perhaps that is because you are old. He is many, many years younger than you, is he not?
He is somewhat younger.
Would he be my husband, do you think, if I asked him?
Very likely.
But I should not like to ask him. Could you not persuade him to ask me without knowing that I wanted him to?
My poor child.
Why do you say that as if you were sorry for me? Does he love anyone else?
I'm afraid so.
Well, then I shall not be his first love.
Quite the first. He is greatly admired by women.
I wish I could be the first. But if he loves me, I will make him kill all the rest. Tell me, is he still beautiful? Do his strong, round arms shine in the sun like marble?
He's in excellent condition, considering how much he eats and drinks.
Oh, you must not say common earthly things about him, for I love him. He is a god.
He is a great captain of horsemen and swifter of foot than any other Roman.
What is his real name?
His real name?
Yes, I always call him Horus because Horus is the most beautiful of our gods. But I want to know his real name.
His name is Mark Antony.
Mark Antony. Mark Antony. Mark Antony. What a beautiful name. Oh, how I love you for sending him to help my father. Did you love my father very much?
No, my child. But your father, as you say, never worked. I always work. So when he lost his crown, he had to promise me 16,000 talents to get it back for him.
Did he ever pay you?
Not in full.
He was quite right. It was too dear. The whole world is not worth 16,000 talents.
That is perhaps true, Cleopatra. Those Egyptians who work paid as much of it as he could drag from them. The rest is still due. But as I most likely shall not get it, I must go back to my work. So you must run away for a little and send my secretary to me.
No, I want to stay and hear you talk about Mark Antony.
But if I do not get to work, Pothinus and the rest of them will cut us off from the harbor, and then the way from Rome will be blocked.
No matter. I don't want you to go back to Rome.
But you want Mark Antony to come from it.
Oh, yes, I forgot. Go quickly and work, Caesar, and keep the way over the sea open for my Mark Antony.
Oh, Brithinus, what now?
This, Caesar, and 2 of my comrades killed in the marketplace.
Why?
There is an army come to Alexandria calling itself the Roman army.
The Roman army of occupation, aye?
Commanded by one Achilles.
Well?
The citizens rose against us when the army entered the gates. I was with 2 others in the marketplace when the news came. They set upon us. I cut my way out, and here I am.
Good. I'm glad to see you alive. Rufio, we are besieged.
What? Already?
Now or tomorrow, what does it matter? We shall be besieged.
Caesar,
Yes, I know, comrade. Give the word to turn out on the beach and stand by the boats. Get your wound attended to. Go. Rufio, we have some ships in the West Harbor. Burn them.
Burn them.
Take every boat we have in the East Harbor and seize the Pharos, that island with the lighthouse. Leave half our men behind to hold the beach and the key outside his palace. That is the way home.
Are we to give up the city?
Not got it, Rufio. This palace we have, and what's that building next door?
The theater.
Oh, we'll have that too. It commands the Strand. For the rest, Egypt for the Egyptians.
Well, you know best, I suppose. Is that all?
That is all. Are those ships burnt yet?
Be easy. I shall waste no more time.
Caesar, Tithonus demands speech of you. It's my opinion he needs a lesson. His manner is most insolent.
Where is he?
He waits without.
Ho there, admit Pothinus. Well, Pothinus?
I have brought you our ultimatum, Caesar.
Ultimatum. The door was open. You should have gone through it before you declared war. You're my prisoner now.
Your prisoner. Do you know that you are in Alexandria, and that King Ptolemy, with an army outnumbering your little troop 100 to 1, is in possession of Alexandria?
Well, my friend, get out if you can. Oh, and tell your friends not to kill any more Romans in the marketplace. Otherwise, my soldiers, who do not share my celebrated clemency, will probably kill you. Britannicus, pass the word to the guard and fetch my armor. Well?
See there.
What, a blaze already? It's impossible.
Yes. 5 good ships and a barge laden with oil grappled to each. But it is not my doing. The Egyptians have saved me the trouble. They have captured the West Harbor.
And the East Harbor? The lighthouse, Rufio.
Oh, can I embark a legion in 5 minutes? The first cohort is already on the beach. We can do no more. If you want faster work, come and do it yourself.
Good. Patience, Rufio, patience.
Oh, patience? Who is impatient here, you or I? Would I be here if I could not oversee them from that balcony?
Forgive me, Rufio, and hurry them as much as...
Horror unspeakable! Wow! Alas! Help!
What now?
Who's slain?
Slain! Oh, worse than the death of 10,000 men! Loss irreparable to mankind!
What has happened, man?
The fire has spread from your ships. The first of the 7 wonders of the world perishes. The Library of Alexandria is in flames.
Pshaw.
Is that all?
All! Caesar, will you go down to posterity as a barbarous soldier too ignorant to know the value of books?
Theodotus, I'm an author myself. And I tell you, it is better that the Egyptians should live their lives than dream them away with the help of books.
Caesar, once in 10 generations of men, the world gains an immortal book.
If it did not flatter mankind, the common executioner would burn it.
Without history, death would lay you beside your meanest soldier.
Death will do that in any case. I ask no better grave.
What is burning there is the memory of mankind.
Shameful memory. Let it burn.
Will you destroy the past?
Aye, and build the future with its ruins. But hearken, Theodotus, teacher of kings, you who valued Pompey's head no more than a shepherd values an onion, and who now kneel to me with tears in your old eyes to plead for a few sheepskins scrawled with errors. I cannot spare you a man or a bucket of water just now, but you shall pass freely out of the palace. Now, away with you to Achelous and borrow his legions to put out the fire.
You understand, Theodotus. I remain a prisoner.
A prisoner?
Will you stay to talk while the memory of mankind is burning? Ho there, pass Theodotus out. Away with you.
I must go to save the library.
Follow him to the gate, Pothinus. Bid him urge your people to kill no more of my soldiers, for your sake.
My life will cost you dear if you take it, Caesar.
All ready. We wait for Caesar.
Tell them Caesar is coming. The rogues. Britannicus!
Where are those Egyptians? Is this more clemency if you let them go?
Theodotus go to save the library. We must respect literature, Rufio.
Folly on folly's head. I believe if you could bring back all the dead of Spain, Gaul, and Thessaly to life, you would do it, that we might have the trouble of fighting them all
Might not
over
the
again.
gods destroy the world if their only thought were to be at peace next year? Besides, my friend, every Egyptian we imprison means imprisoning 2 Roman soldiers to guard him, eh?
I might have known there was some fox's trick behind your fine talking.
Is Britannicus asleep? I sent him for my armor an hour ago. Britannicus, thou British islander, Britannicus!
I am going to dress you, Caesar. Sit down. These Roman helmets are so becoming. Oh.
What are you laughing at?
You're bald.
Cleopatra.
So that is why you wear the wreath, to hide it.
Peace, Egyptian. They are the bays of the conqueror.
Peace, thou islander. You should rub your head with strong spirits of sugar, Caesar. That will make it grow.
Cleopatra, do you like to be reminded that you are very young?
No.
Neither do I like to be reminded that I am middle-aged. Let me give you 10 of my superfluous years. That will make you 26 and leave me only, no matter. Is it a bargain?
Agreed. 26, mind. Oh, how nice. You look only about 50 in it.
You must not speak in this manner to Caesar.
Is it true that when Caesar caught you on that island, you were painted all over blue?
Blue is the color worn by all Britons of good standing. In war, we stain our bodies blue, so that though our enemies may strip us of our clothes and our lives, they cannot strip us of our respectability.
Now you look splendid. Have they made any statues of you in Rome?
Oh, yes, many statues.
Well, you must send for one and give it to me.
Now, Caesar, have you done talking? The moment your foot is aboard, there will be no holding our men back. The boats will race one another for the lighthouse.
Oh, you are not really going into battle to be killed.
No, Cleopatra. No man goes to battle to be killed.
Well, but they do get killed. My sister's husband was killed in battle. You must not go. Let him go. Please, please don't go. What will happen to me if you never come back? Oops. No.
Go to the balcony, and you shall see us take the Pharos. You must learn to look on battles. Go. That is well. Now, Rufio, march.
Oh, you will not be able to go.
Why? What now?
Well, they're drying up the harbor with buckets. A multitude of soldiers over there. They're dipping up the water.
It is true. The Egyptian army, crawling over the edge of the West Harbor like locusts. Oh, this is your accursed clemency, Caesar. Theodotus has brought them.
I meant him to, Rufio. They've come to put out the fire. The library will keep them busy whilst we seize the lighthouse, eh? Ha ha!
More foxing. Ah!
Oh, goodbye. Goodbye, dear Caesar. Come back safely. Goodbye.
Act 3, Scene 1. The edge of the quay in front of the palace, looking out west over the east harbor of Alexandria to Pharos Island. Just off the edge of which, and connected with it by a narrow mole, is the famous lighthouse, a gigantic square tower of white marble diminishing in size story by story to the top, on which stands a crescent beacon. The island is joined to the mainland by the Heptastadium, a great molar causeway 5 miles long, bounding the harbor on the south. In the middle of the quay, a Roman sentinel stands on guard, looking out at the lighthouse with strained attention, his left hand shading his eye. Where am I? The sentinel is so absorbed that he does not notice the approach from the north end of the quay of Pitatatita and Apollodorus the Sicilian, carrying rolls of carpet. Apollodorus halts, amused by the preoccupation of the sentinel.
Who goes there, eh?
What's this? Stand. Who are you?
I am Apollodorus, the Sicilian. Why, man, what are you dreaming of? Since I came through the lines beyond the theater there, I have brought my caravan past 3 sentinels, all so busy staring at the lighthouse that not one of them challenged me. Is this a Roman discipline?
We are not here to watch the land, but the sea. Caesar has just landed on the Pharos. What have you here? Who is this piece of Egyptian crockery?
Apollodorus, rebuke this Roman dog, and bid him bridle his tongue in the presence of Pitatatita, the mistress of the queen's household.
My friend, this is a great lady who stands high with Caesar.
And what is all this truck?
Carpets for the furnishing of the queen's apartment in the palace. I have picked them from the best carpets in the world, and the queen shall choose the best of my choosing.
So you are a carpet merchant.
My friend, I am a patrician.
A patrician? A patrician keeping a shop instead of following arms?
I do not keep a shop. Mine is a temple of the arts. I am a worshiper of beauty. My calling is to choose beautiful things for beautiful queens. My motto is art for art's sake.
That is not the password.
It is a universal password.
I know nothing about universal passwords. Either you give me the password for the day or get back to your shop.
How if I do neither?
Then I will drive this pilum through you.
At your service, my friend.
Thrust your knife into this dog's throat, Apollodorus.
Curse on you. Let me go. Helpo!
Stab the little Roman reptile. Spit him on your sword.
What is all, how now? What is all this?
Why did you not stab him? There was time.
Centurion, I am here by order of the queen to...
The queen, yes, yes. Pass him in. Pass all these bizarre people into the queen with their goods. But mind you, pass no one out that you have not passed in, not even the queen herself.
This old woman is dangerous. She is as strong as 3 men. She wanted the merchant to stab me.
Centurion, I am not a merchant. I am a patrician and a votary of art.
Is the woman your wife?
No. Not that the lady is not a striking figure in her own way, but she is not my wife.
Roman, I am Pitatatita, mistress of the queen's household.
Keep your hands off our men, mistress, or I will have you pitched into the harbor, though you were as strong as 10 men.
We shall see whom Isis loves best. Her servant, Petitata, or a dog of the Roman.
Pass in there and keep your distance. Come within a yard of me, you old crocodile, and I will give you this in your jaws.
Pitatatita! Pitatatita!
Go from the window! Go from the window! There are men here!
I am coming down.
No! No, what are you dreaming of? Oh, ye gods, ye gods!
Patata Tita, I have thought of something. I want a boat at once.
Boat? No. No, you cannot. Apollodorus, speak to the queen.
Beautiful queen, I am Apollodorus the Sicilian, your servant. From the bazaar, I have brought you the 3 most beautiful Persian carpets in the world to choose from.
I have no time for carpets today. Get me a boat.
What whim is this? You cannot go on the water except in the royal barge.
Royalty, Fatata Tita, lies not in the barge, but in the queen. The touch of your majesty's foot on the gunwale of the meanest boat in the harbor will make it royal.
Apollodorus, you are my perfect knight, and I will always buy my carpets through you. Can you row, Apollodorus?
My oars shall be your majesty's wings. Whither shall I row, my queen?
To the lighthouse. Come.
Stand. You cannot pass.
How dare you? Do you know that I am the queen?
I have my orders. You cannot pass.
I will make Caesar have you killed if you do not obey me.
He will do worse to me if I disobey my officer. Stand back.
Patata Tita, strangle him.
Keep off.
I shall not need their help, lady. Now, soldier, choose which weapon you will defend yourself with. Shall it be sword against pilum or sword against sword?
Roman against Sicilian. Curse you. Ho there! Guard, help!
What is this? What now? Make your report, soldier. What has happened?
Centurion, he would have slain the queen.
I would sooner let her pass. She wanted to take the boat and go, she said so, to the lighthouse. I stopped her, as I was ordered to, and she set this fellow on me.
Cleopatra, I am loath to offend you, but without Caesar's express order, we dare not let you pass beyond the Roman lines.
Well, Centurion, and has not the lighthouse been within the Roman lines since Caesar landed there?
Yes. Yes, answer that if you can.
As for you, Apollodorus, you may thank the gods that you are not nailed to the palace door with a pilum for your meddling.
My military friend, I was not born to be slain by so ugly a weapon. When I fall, it will be by this white queen of arms, the only weapon fit for an artist. And now that you are convinced that we do not want to go beyond the lines, let me finish killing your sentinel and depart with the queen.
Peace there. Cleopatra must abide by my orders and not by the subtleties of this Sicilian. You must withdraw into the palace and examine your carpets there.
I will not. I am the queen. Caesar does not speak to me as you do. Have Caesar's centurions changed manners with his scullions?
I do my duty. That is enough for me.
Majesty, when a stupid man is doing something he is ashamed of, he always declares that it is his duty.
Apollodorus.
I will make amends for that insult with my sword at fitting time and place. Who says artist, says duelist. Hear my counsel, Star of the East. Until word comes to these soldiers from Caesar himself, you are a prisoner. Let me go to him with a message from you and a present. And before the sun has stooped halfway to the arms of the sea, I will bring you back Caesar's order of release.
And you will sell the queen the present, no doubt.
Centurion, the queen shall have from me, without payment, as the unforced tribute of Sicilian taste to Egyptian beauty, the richest of these carpets for her present to Caesar.
Now you see what ignorant common creature you are.
Well, a fool and his wares are soon parted. See that no one leaves the palace but this man and his merchandise. If he draws his sword against inside the lines, kill him.
My friend, will you not enter the palace and bury our quarrel in a bowl of wine? The queen has presents for you.
You heard the orders. Get about your business.
Earl of Queens, The centurion is at hand, and the Roman soldier is incorruptible when his officer is looking. I must carry your word to Caesar.
But you can take a carpet to Caesar if I send one?
Assuredly.
And you will have it carried gently down the steps and take great care of it?
Depend on me.
Great care?
More than of my own body.
You will promise me not to drop it or throw it about.
Place the most delicate glass goblet in the palace in the heart of the roll, Queen, and if it be broken, my head shall pay for it.
Good. Come, Patata Tita. No, Apollodorus, you must not come. I will choose a carpet for myself. You must wait here.
My friend.
Silence there.
Listen, were you set here to watch me or to watch the Egyptians?
We know our duty.
Then why don't you do it? There's something going on over there.
I do not need to be told what to do by the like of you.
Blockhead. Ho there, centurion! Hoy ho!
Curse your meddling. Hoy ho! Alarm! Alarm!
What now? Has the old woman attacked you again? Are you still
See
here?
there! The Egyptians are moving. They're going to recapture the pharaohs. They will attack by sea and land, by land along the Great Mole, and by sea from the West Harbor. Stir yourselves, my military friends. The hunt is up. I told you so.
Keep guard here.
You again?
Peace, Roman fellow. You are now single-handed. Apollodorus, this carpet is Cleopatra's present to Caesar. It has rolled up in it 10 precious goblets of the thinnest Iberian crystal and 100 eggs of the sacred blue pigeon. On your honor, let not one of them be broken.
On my head be it. If the boat were but a single plank, I would get to Caesar on it.
In the name of the gods, Apollodorus, run no risk with that bale.
Fear not, thy venerable grotesque. I guess its great worth.
All well. Oh, how thou hast given my heart a turn.
Farewell, Fatatatita. I shall be at the lighthouse before the Egyptians.
The gods speed thee and protect my nursling.
Farewell, valiant pilum pitcher.
Farewell, shopkeeper.
Ha ha! Pull, thou brave boatman, pull! So ho! Ho! My heart, spread over thy wings, shake off the heavy load of love.
Now, mistress, get back to your hen house. In with you.
Gods of the sea, bear her safely to shore.
Bear who safely? What do you mean?
Gods of Egypt and vengeance, let this Roman fool be beaten like a dog by his captain for suffering her to be taken over the waters.
Accursed one. Is she then in the boat? Hoy ho, they're boatmen. Hoy ho.
My heart, be full and free. Love is thine only enemy.
Act 3, Scene 2. Meanwhile, Rufio, the morning's fighting done, sits munching dates on brushwood outside the door of the lighthouse, which towers gigantic to the clouds on his left. His helmet is full of dates and is between his knees, and a leathern bottle of wine is by his side. A huge chain and hook hang down from the lighthouse crane above his head, and piles of wood like the one he sits on lie beneath it, ready to be drawn up to feed the beacon. Caesar is standing on the step at the parapet, looking out anxiously, evidently ill at ease. Britannicus comes out of the lighthouse door.
Why, my British Islander, have you been up to the top?
I have. I reckon it about 200 feet high.
Anybody up there?
One elderly Tyrian to work the crane, and his son, a well-conducted youth of 14.
What? An old man and a boy work that? 20 men, you mean?
2 only, I assure you. They have counterweights and a machine with boiling water in it, which I do not understand. It is not of British design. They use it to haul up barrels of oil and wood to burn in the brazier on the roof. Excuse me. I came down because there are messengers coming along the mole to us from the island. I must see what their business is.
Rufio, this has been a mad expedition. We should be beaten. I wish I knew how our men are getting on with that barricade across the Great Mole.
Must I leave my food and go starving to bring you a report?
No, Rufio, no. Eat, my son. Eat. The Egyptians cannot be such fools as not to storm the barricade and swoop down on us here before it is finished. It is the first time it has ever run an avoidable risk. I should not have come to Egypt.
An hour ago, you were all for victory.
Yeah, I was a fool. Rash, Rufio, boyish.
Boyish? Not a bit of it. Here.
What are these for?
To eat. That's what's the matter with you. When a man comes to your age, he runs down before his midday meal. Eat and drink, and then have another look at our chances.
All right. My age. Now, Rufio. God. All they was pitted. I'm an old man, worn out now. True, quite true. Achilles is still in his prime. Ptolemy is a boy. There. Well, every dog has his day, and I've had mine. I cannot complain. These dates are not bad, Rufio. What now?
Our brave Rhodian mariners have captured a treasure. There! Our enemies are delivered into our hands.
That bag?
Wait till you hear, Caesar. This bag contains all the letters which have passed between Pompey's party and the army of occupation here.
Well,
we shall now know who your foes are. The name of every man who has plotted against you since you crossed the Rubicon may be in these papers for all we know.
put them in the fire.
Put them...
In the fire! Would you have me waste the next 3 years of my life in prescribing, condemning men who will be my friends when I have proved that my friendship is worth more than Pompey's was and Cato's is? No, incorrigible British Islander. I'm a bulldog. To seek quarrels Am I a bulldog? To seek quarrels merely to show how stubborn my jaws are?
But your honor, the honor of Rome.
I do not make human sacrifices to my honor as you druids do. Since you will not burn these, at least I can drown them.
Caesar, this is mere eccentricity. Are traitors to be allowed to go free for the sake of a paradox?
Caesar, when the islander is finished preaching, call me again. You can have a look at the boiling water machine.
Oh, Caesar, my great master, if I could but persuade you to regard life seriously, as men do in my country.
Do they truly do so, Britannicus?
Have you not been there? Have you not seen them? What Briton speaks as you do in your moments of levity? What Briton neglects to attend to the services at the sacred grove? What Briton wears clothes of many colors as you do, instead of plain blue, as all solid, well-esteemed men should? These are moral questions with us.
Well, my friend. Someday I shall settle down and have a blue toga, perhaps. Meanwhile, I must get on as best I can in my way, my flippant Roman way. What now?
What is this? What? Who are you? How did you come here?
Calm yourself, my friend. I am not going to eat you. I have come by boat from Alexandria with precious gifts for Caesar.
From Alexandria?
That is Caesar, sir.
What's the matter now?
Hail, great Caesar. I am Apollodorus the Sicilian, an artist.
An artist? Why have they admitted this vagabond?
Peace, man. Apollodorus is a famous patrician amateur.
I crave the gentleman's pardon. I understood him to say that he was a professional.
You're welcome, Apollodorus. What is your business?
First, to deliver to you a present from the Queen of Queens.
Who's that?
Cleopatra of Egypt.
Apollodorus, this is no time to be playing with presents. Pray you, go back to the queen and tell her that if all goes well, I shall return to the palace this evening.
Caesar, I cannot return. As I approached the lighthouse, some fool threw a great leathern bag into the sea. It broke the nose of my boat, and I had hardly time to get myself and my charge to the shore before the poor little cockleshell sank.
No, I'm sorry, Apollodorus. The fool shall be rebuked. Well, well, what have you brought me? The queen will be hurt if I do not look at it.
Have we time to waste on this trumpery? The queen is only a
So
child.
that is why we must not disappoint her. What is the present, Apollodorus?
Caesar, it is a Persian carpet, a beauty, and in it are, as I am told, pigeons' eggs and crystal goblets and fragile, precious things. I dare not for my head have it carried up that narrow ladder from the causeway.
We'll swing it up by the crane then. We will send the eggs to the cook, drink our wine from the goblets, and the carpet will make a
The
bed for
crane!
Caesar.
Caesar, I have sworn to tender this bale of carpet as I tender my own life.
Then let it swing you up at the same time, and if the chain breaks, you and the pigeon eggs will perish together.
Is Caesar serious?
His manner is frivolous because he is an Italian. But he means what he says.
Serious or not, he spake well. Give me a squad of soldiers to work the crane.
Leave the crane to me. Go and await the descent of the chain.
Good. You will presently see me there, rising like the sun with my treasure.
Are you really going to wait here for this foolery, Caesar?
Why not?
The Egyptians will let you know why not if they have the sense to make a rush from the shore end of the mole before our barricade is finished. And here we are, waiting like children to see a carpet full of pigeons' eggs.
Fear not, my son Rufio. When the first Egyptian takes his first step along the mole, the alarm will sound, and we too will reach the barricade from our end before the Egyptians reach it from their end. We too, Rufio. I, the old man, and you, his biggest boy. And the old man will be there first. So peace. Give me some more dates.
Soho! Haul away! Soho! Aloft, aloft, behold the blue that never shone in women's eyes. Oh, easy there! Stop her! Further round!
Lower away there.
Gently, slowly, mind the eggs.
Easy there. Slowly, slowly.
Stand off, my friends. Let Caesar see.
Nothing but a heap of shawls. Where are the pigeons' eggs?
Approach, Caesar, and search for them amongst the shawls.
Ha! Treachery! Oh, keep back, Caesar. I saw the shawl move. There is something alive there.
'Tis a serpent.
Dare Caesar thrust his hand into the sack where the serpent moves?
Treacherous dog.
Please put up your swords. Apollodorus, your serpent seems to breathe very regularly. Ha ha, this is a pretty little snake.
Let us have the rest of you.
Oh, I'm smothered. Oh, Caesar, a man stood on me in the boat, and a great sack of something fell upon me out of the sky. And then the boat sank, and then I was swung up in the air and bumped down.
Well, never mind. Here you are safe and sound at last.
Aye, and now that she is here, what are we to do with her?
She cannot stay here, Caesar, without the companionship of some matron.
You glad to see me?
Yes, yes, I am very glad. But Rufio's very angry and Britannicus is shocked.
Well, you can have their heads cut off, can't you?
They wouldn't be so useful with their heads cut off as they are now, my seabird.
We shall have to go away presently and cut some of your Egyptians' heads off. How will you like being left here with the chance of being captured by that little brother of yours if we are beaten?
But you mustn't leave me alone. Caesar, you will not leave me alone, will you?
What? Not when the trumpet sounds and all our lives depend on Caesar's being at the barricade before the Egyptians reach it, eh?
Well, let them lose their lives. They are only soldiers.
Oh,
Cleopatra, when that trumpet sounds, we must take every man his life in his hands and throw it in the face of death. And of my soldiers who have trusted me, there is not one whose hand I shall not hold more sacred than your head. Apollodorus, you must take her back to the palace.
Am I a dolphin, Caesar, to cross the seas with young ladies on my back? My boat is sunk. All yours are either at the barricade or have returned to the city. I will hail one if I can. That's all I can do.
It does not matter. I will no go back. Nobody cares for me.
Cleopatra!
You want me to be killed.
My poor child, your life matters little here to anyone but yourself. Come with you.
No, do not leave me, Caesar. Oh.
Caesar, we are cut off. The Egyptians have landed from the west harbor between us and the barricade.
curses! It is true we are caught like rats in a trap.
Rufio, my men at the barricade are between the sea party and the shore party. I've murdered them.
Why? That comes of fooling with this girl here.
Look at the parapet, Caesar.
We have looked, my friend. We must defend ourselves here.
I have thrown the ladder into the sea. They cannot get in without it.
Why? And we cannot get out. Have you thought of that?
Not get out? Why not? You have ships in the East Harbor.
The Rhodian galleys are standing in towards already.
And by what road are we to walk to the galleys, pray?
By the road that leads everywhere. The diamond path of the sun and the moon. Have you never seen the child's shadow play of the broken bridge? Ducks and geese with ease get over. There.
What are you talking about?
I will show you. How far off is the nearest galley?
50 fathom.
No, they're further off than they seem in this clear air to your British eyes. Nearly a quarter of a mile, Apollodorus.
Good. Defend yourselves here until I send you a boat from that galley.
Have you wings, perhaps?
Water wings, soldier. Behold.
Bravo! By Jupiter, I will do that too.
Oh, you are mad. You shall not.
Why not? Can I not swim as well as he?
Can an old fool dive and swim like a young one? He is 25 and you are 50.
Oh,
Rufio, you forget yourself.
I will race you to the galley for a week's pay, Father Rufio.
Mimi, what's to become of me?
Carry you on my back to the galley like a dolphin. Rufio, when you see me rise to the surface, throw her in. I will answer for her, and then in with you after her. Both of you.
No. I shall be drowned.
Caesar, I'm a man and a Briton, not a fish. I must have a boat. I cannot swim.
Neither can I.
Stay here then, alone, until I recapture the lighthouse. I will not forget you. Now, Rufio.
You have made up your mind to this folly?
The Egyptians have made it up for me. What else is there to do? And mind where you jump. I do not want to get your 14 stone in the small of my back as I come up. Ho, Apollodorus! The white upon the blue above is purple on the green below. Ah!
Oh, let me see. He will be drowned.
He has got her. Hold the fort, Britain. Caesar will not forget you.
The belt has reached him! Hip, 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 hurrah!
Act 4, Scene 1. Cleopatra's sousing in the East Harbor of Alexandria was in October of 48 BC. In March of 47, she is passing the afternoon in her boudoir in the palace among a bevy of her ladies, listening to a musician who is playing the harp in the middle of the room. Fatatatita is in attendance near the door, in front of 2 female slaves. Except the harp player are all seated, Cleopatra in a chair, and other people in chairs. Hang on. Her ladies are young, the most conspicuous being Charmaine and Iris, her favorites. Charmaine and Iris are there. Yep.
Can I? Can I?
Peace, thou. The queen speaks.
I want to learn to play the harp with my own hands. Caesar loves music. Can you teach me?
Assuredly, I and no one else can teach the queen. Have I not discovered the lost method of the ancient Egyptians, who could make a pyramid tremble by touching a bass string? All the other teachers are quacks. I have exposed them repeatedly.
Good. You shall teach me. How long will it take?
Oh, not very long. Only 4 years.
You shall give me a lesson every day for a fortnight. After that, whenever I strike a false note, you shall be flogged. And if I strike so many that there is not time to flog you, you shall be thrown into the Nile to feed the crocodiles.
But true art will not thus be forced.
What is this? Answering the queen, forsooth. Out with you.
Now, can any of you amuse me? Have you any stories or news?
Fatatita.
Oh, Fatatatita, always Fatatatita. Some new tale to set me against her.
No, this time Fatatatita has been virtuous. Pothinus has been trying to bribe her to let him speak with you.
You all sell audiences with me as if I saw whom you please and not whom I please. You laugh, but take care, take care. I will find out someday how to make myself served as Caesar is served.
Old hook nose.
Silence. Charmian, you cannot be a silly little Egyptian fool. Do you know why I allow you all to chatter impertinently just as you please instead of treating you as Fatatatita would treat you as if she were queen?
Because you try to imitate Caesar in everything. And he lets everybody say what they please to him.
No, but because I asked him one day why he did so. And he said, let your women talk and you will learn something from them. What do I have to learn from them? I said. What they are, said he. And oh, you should have seen his eye as he said it. You would have curled up, you shallow things. At whom are you laughing? At me or at Caesar?
At Caesar.
If you were not a fool, you would laugh at me. And if you were not a coward, you would not be afraid to tell me so. Patatatita, they tell me that Pothinus has offered you a bribe to admit to him in my presence.
Now, by my father's gods.
Have I not told you not to deny things? You would spend the day calling your father's gods to witness your virtues if I let you. Go take the bribe and bring in Pothinus. Don't answer me. Go.
Hi-ho. I wish Caesar were back in Rome.
It will be a bad day for you all when he goes. Oh, if I were not ashamed to let him see that I'm as cruel at heart as my father, I would make you repent that speech. Why do you wish him away?
He makes you so terribly prosy and serious and learned and philosophical. It's worse than being religious at our ages.
Cease that endless cackling, will you? Hold your tongues.
Well, well, we must try to live up to Caesar.
Pothinus craves the ear of the...
There, that will do. Let him come in. Well, Pothinus, what is the latest news from your rebel friends?
I am no friend of rebellion, and a prisoner does not receive news.
You are no more a prisoner than I am, than Caesar is. These 6 months, we have been besieged in this palace by my subjects. You were allowed to walk on the beach among the soldiers. Can I go further myself, or can Caesar?
You are but a child, Cleopatra, and do not understand these matters.
I see that you do not know the latest news, Pothinus.
What is that?
That Cleopatra is no longer a child. Shall I tell you how to grow much older and much, much wiser in one day?
I should prefer to grow wiser without growing older.
Well, you go up to the top of the lighthouse and get somebody to take you by the hair and throw you into the sea.
She is right, Pothinus. You will come to the shore with much conceit washed out of you. Begone, all of you. I will speak to Pothinus alone. Drive them out, Patatatita. What are you waiting for?
It's not meet that the queen remain alone with...
Patatatita, must I sacrifice you to my father's gods to teach you that I am the queen of Egypt, not you?
You are like the rest of them. You want to be what these Romans call a new woman.
Now, Pothinus, why did you bribe Patatatita to bring you hither?
Cleopatra, what they tell me is true. You are changed.
Do you speak with Caesar every day for 6 months? And you will be changed.
It is the common talk that you are infatuated with this old man.
Infatuated? What does that mean? Made foolish, is it not? Oh no, I wish I were.
You wish you were made foolish. How so?
When I was foolish, I did what I liked, except when Patatatita beat me. And even then I cheated her and did it by stealth. Now that Caesar has made me wise, it is no use my liking or disliking. I do what must be done and have no time to attend to myself. That is not happiness, but it is greatness. If Caesar were gone, I think I could govern the Egyptians. For what Caesar is to me, I am to the fools around me.
Cleopatra, this may be the vanity of youth.
No, it is not that I am so clever, but that the others are so stupid.
Truly, that is the great secret.
Well, now, tell me what you came to say.
Nothing.
Nothing?
At least, to beg for my liberty, that is all.
For that you would have knelt to Caesar. No, Pothinus, you came with some plan that depended on Cleopatra being a little nursery kitten. Now that Cleopatra is a queen, the plan is upset.
It is so.
Ah.
Is Cleopatra then indeed a queen and no longer Caesar's prisoner and slave?
Pothinus, we're all Caesar's slaves, all we in this land of Egypt, whether we will or no. And she who is wise enough to know this will reign when Caesar departs.
You harp on Caesar's departure.
What if I do?
Does he not love you?
Love me? Pothinus, Caesar loves no one. Who are those we love? Only those whom we do not hate. All people are strangers and enemies to us except those we love. But it is not so with Caesar. He has no hatred in him. He makes friends with everyone as he does with dogs and children. His kindness to me is a wonder. Neither mother, father, nor nurse have ever taken so much care for me or thrown open their thoughts to me so freely.
Well, is not this love?
What? When he will do as much for the first girl he meets on his way back to Rome? Ask his slave, Britannicus. He has been just as good to him. Nay, ask his very horse. His kindness is not for anything in me. It is his own nature.
But how can you be sure that he does not love you as men love women?
Because I cannot make him jealous. I have tried.
Perhaps I should have asked then, do you love him?
Can one love a god? Besides, I love another Roman, one whom I saw long before Caesar. No god, but a man. One who can love and hate. One whom I can hurt and who would hurt me.
Does Caesar know this?
Yes.
And he is not angry.
He promises to send him to Egypt to please me.
I do not understand this man.
You understand Caesar. How could you? I do, by instinct.
Your Majesty caused me to be admitted today. What message has the Queen for me?
This. You think that by making my brother king, you will rule Egypt because you are his guardian, and he is a little silly.
The Queen is pleased to say so.
The Queen is pleased to say this also, that Caesar will eat you up, and Achilles, and my brother, as a cat eats up mice, and that he will put on this land of Egypt as a shepherd puts on his garment. And when he has done that, he will return to Rome and leave Cleopatra here as his viceroy.
That he will never do. We have 1,000 men to his 10, and we will drive him and his beggarly legions into the sea.
You rant like any common fellow. Go then, and marshal your thousands and make haste. For Mithridates of Pergamus is at hand with reinforcements for Caesar. Caesar has held you at bay with 2 legions. We shall see what he will do with 20.
Cleopatra.
Enough. Enough. Caesar has spoiled me for talking to weak things like you.
Let me go forth from this hateful place.
What angers you?
The curse of all the gods of Egypt be upon her. She has sold her country to the Roman that she may buy it back from him with her kisses.
Fool! Did she not tell you that she would have Caesar gone?
You listened.
I took care that some honest woman should be at hand whilst you were here.
Now by the gods.
Enough of your gods. Caesar's gods are all powerful here. 'Tis no use you coming to Cleopatra. You are only an Egyptian. She will not listen to any of her own race. She treats us all as children.
May she perish for it.
Man, your tongue wither for that. May your tongue wither for that wish. Go. Send for Lucius Septimus, the slayer of Pompey. He is a Roman. Maybe she will listen to him. Be gone.
I know to whom I must go now.
To whom then?
To a greater Roman than Lucius. And mark this, mistress. You thought, before Caesar came, that Egypt should presently be ruled by you and your crew in the name of Cleopatra. I set myself against it.
Aye, that it might be ruled by you and your crew in the name of Ptolemy.
Better me, or even you, than a woman with a Roman heart. And that is what Cleopatra is now become. Whilst I live, she shall never rule. So guide yourself accordingly.
Act 4, Scene 2. It is now drawing toward dinner time. A table is laid on the roof of the palace, and thither Rufio is now climbing. After many stairs, he emerges onto a last colonnade on the roof. Light curtains are drawn between the columns on the north and east to soften the westering sun. A cord for pulling the curtains apart hangs down between the pillars. Caesar comes in beaming and festive. Rufio rises to receive Caesar.
Why, Rufio, a new baldric, a new golden pommel to your sword, and you've had your hair cut. Oh, but not your beard. Impossible. Woo-hoo. Yes, perfumed by Jupiter Olympus.
Well, is it to please myself?
No, my son Rufio, but to please me, to celebrate my birthday.
Your birthday? You always have a birthday when there is a pretty girl to be flattered or an ambassador to be conciliated. We had 7 of them in 10 months last year.
It's true, Rufio. I shall never break myself of these petty deceits.
Who is to dine with us, besides Cleopatra?
Apollodorus the Sicilian.
That popinjay.
Come, the popinjay is an amusing dog, tells a story, sings a song, and saves us the trouble of flattering the queen. What does she care for old politicians and camp-fed bears like us? No, Apollodorus is good company. Rufio, good company.
Well, he can swim a bit and fence a bit. He might be worse. If he only knew how to hold his tongue. Oh.
Gods forbid he should ever learn. This military life, this tedious, brutal life of action, that is the worst of us Romans. We're mere doers and drudgers, a swarm of bees turned into men. Give me a good talker, one with wit and imagination enough to live without continually doing something.
Why? A nice time he would have of it with you when dinner was over. Have you noticed that I am before my time?
I thought that meant something. What is it?
Can we be overheard here?
Our privacy invites eavesdropping. I can remedy that. Now, in the crowd, everyone can hear us. Nobody will think of listening to us.
Pothinus wants to speak to you. I advise you to see him. There is some plotting going on here among the women.
Who's Pothinus?
The fellow with hair like squirrel's fur. The little king's bear leader whom you kept prisoner.
Oh, and he's not escaped?
No.
Why not? You've been guarding this man instead of watching the enemy? Oh, have I not told you always to let prisoners escape unless they're special ordered to the contrary? Are there not enough mouths to be fed without him?
Yes. And if you would have a little sense and let me cut his throat, you would save his rations. Anyhow, he won't escape. 3 sentries have told him they would put a pilum through him if they saw him again. What more can they do? He prefers to stay and spy on us. So would I if I had to do a general subject to fits of clemency.
All right. So he wants to see me.
I brought him with me. He is waiting there under guard.
And you want me to see him?
I don't want anything. I dare say you will do what you like. Don't put it on me.
Well, let us have him.
Ho there, guard! Release your man and send him up. Come along.
Oh, Pothinus, you are welcome. And what is the news this afternoon?
Caesar, I come to warn you of a danger and to make you an offer.
Never mind the danger. Make the offer.
Never mind the offer. What's the danger?
Caesar, you think that Cleopatra is devoted to you.
My friend, I already know what I think. Come to your offer.
I will deal plainly. I know not by what strange gods you have been enabled to defend a palace and a few yards of beach against a city and an army. Since we cut you off from Lake Mariotis, and you dug wells in the salt sea sand and brought up buckets of fresh water from them, we have known that your gods are irresistible, and that you are a worker of miracles. I no longer threaten you, and
Very handsome of you indeed.
so be it. You are the master. Our gods sent the northwest winds to keep you in our hands, but you have been too strong for them.
Yes, my friend, but what then?
Spit it out, man. What have you to say?
I have to say that you have a traitress in your camp. Cleopatra.
The queen.
Oh, you should have spat it out sooner, you fool. It's too late now.
What is he doing here?
I'm just going to tell me something about you. You shall hear it. Proceed, Prythinus.
Caesar.
Well, out with it.
What I have to say is for your ear, not for the queen's.
There are means of making you speak. Take care.
Caesar does not employ those means.
My friend, when man has anything to tell in this world, the difficulty is not to make him tell it, but to prevent him telling it too often. Let me celebrate my birthday by setting you free. Farewell, we'll not meet again.
Caesar, this mercy is foolish.
Will you not give me a private audience, Caesar? Your life may depend on it.
Ass! Now we shall have some heroics.
Prythinus?
Caesar! The dinner will spoil if you begin preaching your favorite sermon about life and death.
Peace, Rufio. I desire to hear Caesar.
Your Majesty has heard it before. You repeated it to Apollodorus last week, and he thought it was all your own. Ho there, guard! Pass the prisoner out. He is released. Now off with you. You have lost your chance.
I will speak.
See? Torture would not have wrung a word from him.
Caesar, you have taught Cleopatra the arts by which the Romans govern the world.
Alas, they cannot even govern themselves. What then?
What then? Are you so besotted with her beauty that you do not see that she is impatient to reign in Egypt alone, and that her heart is set on your departure?
Liar!
What? Protestations, contradictions.
No, I do not deign to contradict. Let him talk.
From her own lips, I have heard it. You are to be her cat's paw. You are to tear the crown from her brother's head and set it on her own, delivering us all into her hand, delivering yourself also. And then Caesar can return to Rome or depart through the gate of death, which is nearer and surer.
Well, my friend, and is this not very natural?
Natural? Then you do not resent treachery?
Resent? Huh, that foolish Egyptian. What have I to do with resentment? Do I resent the wind when it chills me, or the night when it makes me stumble in the darkness? Shall I resent youth when it turns from age? And ambition when it turns from servitude? To tell me such a story as this is but to tell me that the sun will rise tomorrow.
But it is false. False, I swear it.
It is true, though you swore it 1,000 times and believed all you swore. Come, Rufio, let us see Prythinus pass the guard. I have a word to say to him. We must give the queen a moment to recover herself. Come, tell your friends, Prythinus, they must not think I'm opposed to a reasonable settlement of this country's affairs.
Patatatita, patatatita.
Peace, child. Be comforted.
Can they hear us?
No, dear heart. No.
Listen to me. If he leaves the palace alive, never see my face again. Strike his life out as I strike his name from your lips. Dash him down from the wall. Break him on the stones. Kill, kill, kill him.
Dog shall perish.
Fail in this, and you go out from before me forever.
So be it. You shall not see my face until his eyes are darkened.
Come soon. Soon. So you have come back to me, Caesar. I thought you were angry. Welcome, Apollodorus.
Cleopatra grows more womanly beautiful from week to week.
Truth, Apollodorus?
Oh, far, far short of the truth. Friend Rufio threw a pearl into the sea. Caesar fished up a diamond.
Caesar fished up a touch of rheumatism, my friend. Come to dinner.
Yes, to dinner. I have ordered such a dinner for you, Caesar.
What are we to have?
Peacock's brains.
Peacock's brains. Apollodorus?
Not for me. I prefer nightingale's tongues.
Roast boar, Rufio.
Good.
What shall we serve to whet Caesar's appetite?
What have you got?
Sea hedgehogs, black and white sea acorns, sea nettles, beccaficios, purple shellfish.
Any oysters?
Assuredly.
British oysters?
British oysters, Caesar.
Oysters, then. I have been in Britain, the western land of romance, the last piece of earth on the edge of the ocean that surrounds the world. I went there in search of its famous pearls. The British pearl was but a fable, but in searching for it, I found the British oyster.
All posterity will bless you for it. Sea hedgehogs for me.
Caesar will deign to choose his wine. Sicilian, lesbian, Chianti.
Oh, Greek.
Who would drink Roman wine when he could get Greek? Try the lesbian, Caesar.
No, just bring me my barley water.
Oh, bring me my Falernian.
It is a waste of time to give you dinners, Caesar. My scullions would not condescend to your diet.
Well, let's try the lesbian. But when I return to Rome, I will make laws against this extravagance. I'll even get the laws carried out.
Never mind. Today you are to be like other people, idle, luxurious, and kind.
Well, for once I will satisfy my comfort, sacrifice my comfort. There. Now, are you satisfied?
And you no longer believe that I long for your departure for Rome?
I no longer believe anything. My brains are asleep. Besides, who knows whether I shall return to Rome?
How? What?
What is Rome to show me that I've not seen already? 1 year of Rome is like another, except that I grow older, whilst the crowd in the Appian Way is about always the same age.
It is no better here in Egypt. The old men, when they are tired of life, say, "We have seen everything except the source of the Nile."
And why not see that? Cleopatra, will you come with me and track the flood to its cradle in the heart of the regions of mystery? Shall we leave Rome behind us? Rome that has achieved greatness only to learn how greatness destroys nations of men who are not great. Shall I make you a new kingdom and build you a holy city there in the great unknown?
Yes, yes, you shall.
Why, and now he will conquer Africa with 2 legions before we come to the roast boar.
Come, no scoffing. This is a noble scheme. Caesar is no longer merely the conquering soldier, but the creative poet-artist. Let us name the holy city and consecrate it with lesbian wine.
Cleopatra shall name it herself.
It shall be called Caesar's gift to his beloved.
No. Something vaster than that. Something universal, like the starry firmament.
Why not simply the cradle of the Nile?
No, the Nile is my ancestor and he is a god. Oh, I have thought of something. The Nile shall name himself. Let us call upon him. Send for him.
What hocus pocus is this?
You shall see. And it is not Hocus pocus. To do it properly, we should kill something to please him. But perhaps he will answer Caesar without that if we spill some wine to him. I will have my city named by nobody but my dear little Sphinx, because it has in its arms that Caesar found me asleep. Now let us call on the Nile all together. Perhaps he will rap on the table.
What? Table rapping? Are such superstitions still believed in the year 707 of the Republic?
No, it is no superstition. Our priests learn lots of things from the tables. Is it not so, Apollodorus?
Yes, I profess myself a converted man. When Cleopatra is priestess, Apollodorus is devotee. Propose the conjuration.
You must say with me, send us thy voice, Father Nile.
Send us
Send
thy
us thy voice, Father
Father
Nile.
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 Ah!
What was that?
Nothing. They are beating some slave.
Nothing.
A man with a knife in him, I'll swear.
Murder.
Shh! Silence. Did
Another
you hear
cry?
that?
Another cry?
No. A thud. Something fell on the beach, I think.
Something with bones in it, eh?
Hush, hush, Rufio.
Will you leave me, Caesar? Apollodorus, are you going?
Faith, dearest queen, my appetite is gone.
Go down to the courtyard, Apollodorus. Find out what has happened.
Your soldiers have killed somebody, perhaps. What does it matter?
This must be seen to.
There is some mischief between those two.
Queen looks again on the face of her servant.
Cleopatra, what has happened?
Nothing, dear Caesar. Nothing. I am innocent. Dear Caesar, are you angry with me? Why do you look at me so? I have been here with you the whole time. How can I know what happened?
That is true.
Of course it's true. You know it is true, Rufio.
I shall know presently. Now, mistress, I shall want you.
My place is with the queen.
She has done no harm, Rufio.
Let her stay.
Very well. Then my place is here too, and you can see what is the matter for yourself. The city is in a pretty uproar, it seems.
Rufio, there is a time for obedience.
And there is a time for obstinacy.
Send her away.
Oh, yes. Yes, I will. I will do whatever you ask me, Caesar, always because I love you. Fatatatita, go away.
Queen's word is my will. I shall be at hand for the queen's call.
Remember, Caesar, your bodyguard also is within call.
Why do you allow Rufio to treat you so? You should teach him his place.
Teach him to be my enemy and to hide his thoughts from me as you are now hiding yours?
Why do you say that, Caesar? Indeed, I am not hiding anything. You are wrong to treat me like this. I am only a child, and you turn into stone because you think someone has been killed. I cannot bear it. But there, I know you hate tears, and you shall not be troubled by them. I know you are not angry, but only sad. Only I am so silly, I cannot help being hurt when you speak coldly. Of course, you are quite right. It is dreadful to think of anyone being killed or even hurt. And I hope nothing really serious has...
What has frightened you into this? What have you done? That sounds like the answer.
I have not betrayed you, Caesar. I swear it.
I know that. I have not trusted you. Again, Pompey's murderer.
The town has gone mad, I think. They are for tearing the palace down and driving us into the sea straight away. We laid hold of this renegade and clearing them out of the courtyard.
Listen, what has offended the citizens, Lucius Septimius?
What did you expect, Caesar? Pothinus was a favorite of theirs.
What has happened to Pothinus? I set him free here not half an hour ago. Did they not pass him out?
I threw the gallery arch 60 feet above the ground with 3 inches of steel in his ribs. He's as dead as Pompey. We are quits now as to killing, you and I.
Assassinated? Our prisoner, our guest. Rufio.
Whoever did it was a wise man and a friend of yours. But none of us had a hand in it, so it is no use to frown at me.
He was slain by the order of the Queen of Egypt. I am not Julius Caesar the dreamer, who allows every slave to insult him. Rufio has said I did well. Now the others shall judge me too. This Pothinus sought to make me conspire with him to betray Caesar to Achilles and Ptolemy. I refused, and he cursed me and came privily to Caesar to accuse me of his own treachery. I caught him in the act, and he insulted me, the queen, to my face. Caesar would not avenge me. He spoke him fair and set him free. Was I right to avenge myself? Speak, Lucius.
I do not gainsay it, but you will get little thanks from Caesar for it.
Speak, Apollodorus. Was I wrong?
I have only one word of blame, most beautiful. You should have called upon me, your knight, and in fair duel I should have slain the slanderer.
I will be judged by your very slave, Caesar. Britannis, speak. Was I wrong?
For treachery, falsehood, and disloyalty left unpunished, society must become like an arena full of wild beasts, tearing one another to pieces. Caesar is in the wrong.
And so, the verdict is against me, it seems.
Listen to me, Caesar. If one man in all Alexandria can be found to say that I was wrong, I swear to have myself crucified on the door of the palace by my own slaves.
If one man can be found in all the world, now or forever, to know that you did wrong, that man will either have to conquer the world as I have, or be crucified by it. Do you hear that uproar? These knockers at your gate are also believers in vengeance and in stabbing. You have slain their leader. It is right that they shall slay you. If you doubt it, ask your 4 counselors here, and then in the name of that right, shall I not slay them for murdering their queen and be slain in my turn by their countrymen as the invader of their fatherland? Can Rome do less than slay these slayers too, to show the world how Rome avenges her sons and her honor? And so, to the end of history, murder shall be murder, always in the name of right and honor and peace, until the gods are tired of blood and create a race that can understand. Listen to that. Let the Queen of Egypt now give her orders for vengeance and take her measures for defense, for she has renounced Caesar.
You will not desert me, Caesar. You will defend the palace.
You have taken the powers of life and death upon you. I am only a dreamer.
But they will kill me.
Oh, why not?
In pity.
Pity? What? Has it come to this so suddenly that nothing can save you now but pity? Did it save Pothinus?
Caesar, enough of preaching. The enemy is at the gate.
Aye, and what has held him baffled at the gate all these months? Was it my folly, as you seem to deem it, or your wisdom? In this Egyptian Red Sea of blood, whose hand has held all your heads above the waves? And yet, when Caesar says to such a one, friend, go free. You, clinging for your little life to my sword, dare steal out and stab him in the back? And you, soldiers and gentlemen, and honest servants as you forget that you are, applaud this assassination and say, oh, Caesar's in the wrong. By the gods, I'm tempted to open my hand and let you all sink into the flood.
But Caesar, if you do, you will perish yourself.
Now, by great Jove, you filthy little Egyptian rat. That is the very word to make him walk out alone into the city and leave us here to be cut to pieces. Will you desert us because we are a parcel of fools? I mean no harm by killing. I do it as a dog kills a cat, by instinct. We are all dogs at your heels, but we have served you faithfully.
Alas, Rufio, my son, as dogs we are likely now to perish in the streets.
Caesar, what you say has an Olympian ring in it. It must be right, for it is fine art. But I am still on the side of Cleopatra. If we must die, she shall not want the devotion of a man's heart, nor the strength of a man's arm.
But I don't want to die.
Oh, ignoble, ignoble.
Hearken to me, Caesar. It may be ignoble, but I also mean to live as long as I can.
Well, my friend, you are likely to outlive Caesar. Is there any magic of mine, think you, that has kept your army and this whole city at bay for so long? Yesterday, what quarrel had they with me that they should risk their own lives against me? But today we have flung them down their hero, murdered. And now every man of them is set upon clearing out this nest of assassins, for such we are and no more. Take courage then, and sharpen your sword. Pompey's head is fallen, and Caesar's head is ripe.
Does Caesar despair?
He who has never hoped can never despair. Caesar, in good or bad fortune, looks his fate in the face.
Look it in the face then, and it will smile as it always has on Caesar.
Do you presume to encourage me?
I offer you my services. I will change sides if you will have me.
What? At this point?
At this point.
Do you suppose Caesar is mad to trust you?
I do not ask him to trust me until he is victorious. I ask for my life and for a command in Caesar's army. And since Caesar is a fair dealer, I will pay in advance.
Pay? How?
With a piece of good news for you.
What news?
What news? What news did you say, my son Rufio? The relief has arrived. What other news remains for us? Is it not so, Lucius Septimius? Mithridates of Pergamos is on the march.
He has taken Pelusium.
Lucius Septimius, you are henceforth my officer. Rufio, the Egyptians must have sent every soldier from the city to prevent Mithridates from crossing the Nile. Nothing in the streets now but mob. Mob!
It is so. Mithridates is marching by the great road to Memphis to cross above the Delta. Achilles will fight him there.
Achilles will fight Caesar there. See, Rufio! Yeah. All right. Here's the palace. And here's the theater. You take 20 men and pretend to go by that street. And whilst they're stoning you, go out to the cohorts by this and this. My streets are right. Are they, Lucius?
That is the fig market.
Oh, I saw them the day we arrived. Good. Hey, Brithinus, tell Petronius that within an hour and a half, within an hour, half our forces must take ship for the Western Lake. See to my horse and armor. With the rest, I shall march around the lake and up the Nile to meet Mithridates. Away, Lucius, and give the word.
Come, this is something like business.
Is it not, my only son? You understand about the streets, Rufio?
I think I do. I will get through them at all events.
Come then. We must talk to the troops and hearten them. You,
Caesar?
down to the beach, I to the courtyard.
Caesar,
Eh?
have you forgotten me?
I'm busy now, my child, busy. When I return, your affairs shall be settled. Farewell, be good and patient.
That game is played and lost, Cleopatra. The woman always gets the worst of it.
Go. Follow your master.
A word first. Tell your executioner that if Pothinus had been properly killed in the throat, he would not have called out. Your
How do you
man
know?
bungled his work.
How do you know it was a man?
It was not you. You were with us when it happened. Was it she? With her own hand?
Whoever it was, let my enemies beware of her. Look to it, Rufio. You who dare make the Queen of Egypt a fool before Caesar.
I will look to it, Cleopatra.
Patatatita? Patatatita, it is dark, and I am alone. Come to me. Patatatita? Patatatita! Ah!
Act 5, Scene 1. It is high noon. Festival and military pageant on the esplanade before the palace. In the East Harbor, Caesar's galley, so gorgeously decorated that it seems to be rigged with flowers, is alongside the quay, close to the steps Apollodorus descended when he embarked with the carpet. A gangway, whence a red floorcloth is laid down in the middle of the esplanade, turns off to the north opposite the central gate in the palace front, which shuts in the esplanade on the south side. The broad steps of the gate are like the broad steps of the gate are like a flower garden. The facade is lined by her guard, officered by the same gallants to whom Belafris announced the coming of Caesar 6 months before in the old palace on the Syrian border. Among these are Belzenor and the Persian. Apollodorus makes his way through the townsfolk and calls to the officers from behind the Roman line.
Hello, may I pass?
Is Caesar at hand?
Not yet. He is still at the marketplace. I could not stand any more of the roaring of the soldiers. After half an hour of the enthusiasm of an army, one feels the need of a little sea air.
Tell us the news. Hath he slain the priests?
Not he. They met him in the marketplace with ashes on their heads and their gods in their hands. They placed the gods at his feet. The only one that was worth looking at was Apis, a miracle of gold and ivory work. By my advice, he offered the chief priest 2 talents for it.
Apis is the all-knowing for 2 talents? What said the chief priest?
He invoked the mercy of Apis and asked for 5.
There will be famine and tempest in the land for this.
Oh, why did not Apis cause Caesar to be vanquished by Achilles? Any fresh news from the war, Apollodorus?
Little King Ptolemy was drowned.
Drowned? How?
With the rest of them. Caesar attacked them from 3 sides at once and swept them into the Nile. Ptolemy's barge sank.
A marvelous man, this Caesar.
He has made short work of them. Here he comes.
Ho there, Caesar comes.
See, my ship awaits me. The hour of Caesar's farewell to Egypt has arrived. And now, Rufio, what remains to be done before I go?
You have not yet appointed a Roman governor for this province.
What say you to Mithridates of Pergamos, my reliever and rescuer, the great son of Eupator?
Why, that you will want him elsewhere. Do you forget that you have some 3 or 4 armies to conquer on your way home?
Well, what say you to yourself?
I? A governor? What are you dreaming of? Do you not know that I am only the son of a freedman?
Has not Caesar called you his own son? Peace a while there, and hear me. Hear the service, quality, and rank and name of the Roman governor. By service, Caesar's shield. By quality, Caesar's friend. By rank, a Roman soldier. By name, Rufio.
I am Caesar's shield. But of what use shall I be when I'm no longer on Caesar's arm? Well, no matter.
Where's that British islander of mine?
Here, Caesar.
Who bade you, pray, thrust yourself into the battle of the Delta, uttering the barbarous cries of your native land and affirming yourself a match for any 4 of the Egyptians to whom you applied unseemly epithets?
Caesar, I ask you to excuse the language that escaped me in the heat of the moment.
And how did you, who cannot swim, cross the canal with us when we stormed the camp?
Caesar, I clung to the tail of your horse.
These are not the deeds of a slave, Britannicus, but of a free man.
Caesar, I was born free.
But they call you Caesar's slave.
Only as Caesar's slave have I found real freedom.
Well said. Ungrateful that I am, I was about to set you free. But now I will not part from you for 1,000,000 talents.
This Roman knows how to make men serve him.
Aye, men too humble to become dangerous rivals to him.
Oh, subtle one. Oh, cynic.
Hey, Apollodorus, I leave the art of Egypt in your charge. Remember, Rome loves art and will encourage it ungrudgingly.
I understand, Caesar. Rome will produce no art itself, but it will buy up and take away whatever the other nations produce.
What? Rome produces no art? Is peace not an art? Is war not an art? Is government not an art? Is civilization not an art? All these we give you in exchange for a few ornaments, and you will have the best of the bargain. And now, Rufio, what else have I to do before I embark? There's something I can't remember. What can it be? Well, it must remain undone. We must not waste this favorable wind. Farewell, Rufio.
Caesar, I am loath to let you go to Rome without your shield. There are too many daggers there.
Matters not. I shall finish my life's work on the way back, and then I shall have lived long enough. Besides, I've always disliked the idea of dying. I'd rather be killed. Farewell.
Farewell.
Night.
Farewell, Apollodorus, and my friends, all of you. Aboard!
Has Cleopatra no part in this leave-taking?
I knew there was something. Oh, Rufio, how could you let me forget her? Had I gone without seeing you, I should never have forgiven myself. Is this mourning for me?
No.
Oh, that was thoughtless of me. It is for your brother.
No.
For whom then?
Ask the Roman governor whom you have left us.
Rufio?
Yes, Rufio. He who is to rule here in Caesar's name, in Caesar's way, and according to Caesar's boasted laws of life.
He is to rule as he can, Cleopatra. He has taken the work upon him and will do it his own way.
Not in your way, then?
What do you mean by my way?
Without punishment? Without revenge? Without judgment?
Aye, that is the right way, the great way, the only possible way in the end. Believe it, Rufio, if you can.
Why, I believe it, Caesar. You have convinced me of it long ago. But look, you are sailing for Numidia today. Now tell me, if you meet a hungry lion there, you will not punish it for wanting to eat you?
No.
Nor revenge upon it the blood of those it has already eaten?
No.
Nor judge it for its guiltiness?
No.
What then will you do to save your life from it?
kill it, man, without malice, just as it would kill me. What does this parable of the lion mean?
Why, Cleopatra had a tigress that killed men at bidding. I thought she might bid it kill you someday. Well, had I not been Caesar's pupil, what pious things might I not have done to that tigress? I might have punished it. I might have revenged Pothinus upon it.
Pothinus?
I might have judged it. But I put all these follies behind me, and without malice, only cut its throat. And that is why Cleopatra comes to you in mourning.
He has shed the blood of my servant Patatatita. On your head be it as upon his, Caesar, if you hold him free of it.
On my head be it then, for it was well done. Rufio, had you set yourself in the seat of the judge, and with hateful ceremonies and appeals to the gods, handed that woman over to some hired executioner to be slain before the people in the name of justice, never again would I have touched your hand without a shudder. But this was natural slaying. I feel no horror at it.
No, not when a Roman slays an Egyptian. All the world will now see how unjust and corrupt Caesar is.
Come, do not be angry with me. I'm sorry for that poor Tita. You're laughing. Does this mean reconciliation?
No, but it is so ridiculous to hear you call her Tota Tita.
But as much a child as ever, Cleopatra, have I not made a woman of you after all?
No, it is you who are a great baby. You make me seem silly because you will not behave seriously. But you have treated me badly and I do not forgive you.
Bid me farewell.
I will not.
I will send you a beautiful present from Rome.
Beauty from Rome to Egypt, indeed. What can Rome give me that Egypt cannot give me?
That is true, Caesar. If the present is to be really beautiful, I shall have to buy it for you in Alexandria.
You are forgetting the treasures for which Rome is most famous, my friend. You cannot buy them in Alexandria.
What are they, Caesar?
Her sons. Come, Cleopatra, forgive me and bid me farewell, and I will send you a man. Roman from head to heel, and Roman of the noblest. Not old and ripe and ready for the knife, not lean in the arms and cold in the heart. Not hiding a bald head under his conqueror's laurels, not stooped with the weight of the world on his shoulders, but brisk and fresh, strong and young, hoping in the morning, fighting in the day, and reveling in the evening. Will you take such a one in exchange for Caesar?
His name?
Shall it be? Mark Antony.
You are a bad hand at a bargain, mistress, if you will swap Caesar for Antony.
So now you are satisfied.
You will not forget.
I will not forget. Farewell. I do not think we shall meet again. Farewell.
No tears, dearest queen. They stab your servant to the heart. He will return someday.
I hope not. But I can't help crying all the same.
Thank you all so much. Okay, actors, I have moved us into speaker view, so if you want to bring your cameras back in, we're going to run our curtain call. Tonight, as Theodotus and the musician, we had Wendy.
Thank you. Please give to the center.
As Ptolemy and Eris, we had Janie.
Janie.
Janie, say something.
You're muted, sweetie. Sorry. Hello. Thank you.
Janie, I still can't see you. One more time.
Come back, come back.
Keep your camera on.
I'm back again. I cannot bow right. Hello.
Okay. As the Sentinel and Chairman, Maddie.
Thank you.
As the Persian, the soldier, and the major domo, we had Michelle.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
As Belzenor, Lucius, Atimius, and the centurion, you had myself.
Woo!
To the center. As Belapris and Pothinus, we had Molly.
Thanks for watching. Donate to the center.
Great death screen, Molly. As the Nubian and Britannis, we had Carl.
Hey.
Cheerio, everyone.
Cheerio.
As Achelous and Apollodorus, we had Kurt.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Donate to the center if you can.
As Fatatatita, we had Kelly.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Donate if you can.
Lovely injury there, Kelly.
Thank you.
I like it. As Rufio, we had Kevin.
Hi, thank you all for watching. Thanks for sticking with us tonight and all of this past year. And please donate if you can.
As Cleopatra, we had Julia.
Hey.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night and donate if you can.
And as Caesar, we had Chris.
Thanks very much. Donate if you can. Thanks for the past year.
Oh, it's been a wonderful year to spend with all of
Yes.
you. I want to point out, as it was pointed out to me, as we were watching on our side, a scene between Caesar and Cleopatra, that one of the amazing, wonderful things that has happened this year is that that scene, which contained Chris and Julia, contained two people that we, the founders of this group, have never met in person. We have brought so many great people into our lives over this year. We love each and every one of them. It has been a wondrous trip. Thank you for a year, and we will see how much longer this goes. Next week, we have Antony and Cleopatra. I'm sure we're all excited to see how that relationship goes.
The sequel you never knew you wanted.
What?
100 years earlier.
So let's find out how that goes together next week. Please join
Very
us.
happily, I think.
Does it? I don't know.
Tune in next week to find out.
Okay. We'll see you all in a week. Good night from Living Room Shakespeare.